Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back.
the water bottle.
Where's the stock?
Oh.
What's going on, gang?
Oh.
Yeah, you need to rewatch the beginning of that.
I thought it was Amanda for a second.
Yeah.
No, mine are
Whoa.
silent, but
Noted.
so deadly.
Me too.
Yeah, so welcome back, everybody. It's been a
Hi.
rather chill week.
Rough and chill.
Not for everyone.
Quite chilly.
Except for all of us that almost died last week.
Well, I mean, whose
All
fault
of you?
is that?
3.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, Leaf did pretty okay
Three.
in that fight.
2.
I didn't get
I
too
went down,
banged
you
up.
went down, and you went down.
Nope. I went down to 3, but I didn't fall on.
Yeah.
No, wait, I did fall unconscious, didn't
Yes, you
I?
did.
Yeah,
I
you
did.
fall
I did.
unconscious. Well, there was
But
really only
I-
a threat to 2. It would have been amazing if Hope had murdered last
I know, I kind
That
of almost
honestly
wanted
would have
that
been
to
really cool.
happen.
I almost
failed.
I would have been fine with it.
Down.
What a
Would've been
dream
fine
that
with
would
it.
To be honest, the meatiness of the RP that would come from that would make the whole thing
I'm
worthwhile.
actually not ready for the bummer RP, so I'm glad.
Yeah,
it
that's
turned
fair.
out.
We've been through enough of that
What is
recently.
We are
You need to
getting
start preparing, Jesse.
What if
Yeah.
it would turn Hope like evil Hope?
I mean, Hope's already
Oh.
neutral. I mean, they're kind-hearted though, but they are. They're not particularly-
know what things could happen.
Yeah,
I want to see a dark
neutral.
paladin from Hope. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Am I the only good person in the
Ooh, could I
party?
do like
That actually tracks.
I only took
Like,
What if you have to obey a dark demon to bring you back from
five
the
words of
or
notes
I just
last
like
week.
I got like
I didn't take very
addicted to
many.
something, you know,
I should take
Last
some.
week was very
It's
specific.
pretty battle heavy.
Yeah.
I'm addicted
Um,
to the dark magics now.
Are we
accidentally
doing
turned bad.
shout-outy
know
type
that
stuff
dark
yet? Because I want to shout out.
You forced someone else as the
feel
big
so
bad
bad
this
for him.
series.
No, let's do it now. Okay, live? We're live right now. Yeah. Okay, do a shout out.
Little shout out to my boyfriend Andy, whose birthday is tomorrow, September
Ooh,
11th.
happy birthday, Andy!
Yeah, he's the best.
You better be watching.
And if
Happy
you
birthday.
guys out there, if anyone's into cool podcasts, especially some that play with the ideas of memory and horror and all sorts of cool things, he does an amazing podcast called Dug and Hill that can be found on his website, dugandhill.com, or Facebook. And it's amazing cast of Vancouver voice actors and really well done. So check it out, y'all, if you like spooky shit, especially spooky Canadiana.
Oh yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah,
That shit is spooky.
Spoopy.
that's his little birthday shout out because his shit is amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what was that link again?
Dugandhill.com.
Doug and Hill.
No, Duggan Hill. Duggan. It's a fictional small town in Saskatchewan that's based off of some very real places that I got to see this summer that are extremely country.
I'd be
And you can also just
As
search.
country as Canada.
Yeah, I mean Canada gets very country.
Yes, it does.
And you can also find the episodes just for download on iTunes.
Oh,
Super easy.
so is it like country minus the O and R?
the O and R?
Country.
Oh.
And on that note,
And on that note, but yeah, I don't think we have anything else really going on for the stream. It was just kind of a crazy week last week.
Holy fuck.
And yeah, we're excited to see where things end up going from here. So we'll see you guys in 1 minute.
I'm 25 now. I can rent a car.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday, Jesse! We are back.
Oh yes. Hello.
Alrighty.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Oh, hello.
You know, we have a lot of cool stories growing up on my block. There used to be this guy who took a shit out his window every day. We called him Old Mr. Shit Window. And that bit went a little something like this. Sorry, I'm just doing a one.
I'm
Let's
just-
say
I'm
that
like-
old man grew up to be Jesse and O'Connell.
I'm like, rare window.
That old man Benjamin buttoned himself right
The
into
true
Jesse.
rare window.
Exactly.
Rear.
Alrighty.
Rear.
Rear window.
I need
So-
to
Oh, I
make
made
sure I
that way too
pronounce
strong.
correctly.
Oh,
I got you.
I liked rare window.
I'm awake.
Thank you.
Because, you know, like that
So-
might be a window no one's seen.
Banjo Kazooie.
Last we left off, the party having made their way back to the village of Valaki, taking a few meetings, finding out some information, some interesting background noise had apparently come to light, some chatter in amongst the village that led the burgomaster to believe that an attack was going to be made on his life. As such, the guard presence was increased. The ability to access the burgomaster, anyone in his family, decreased accordingly. But the group deciding to finally make the visit that they had been thinking about for so long to Grandma, to Lady Fiona Wachter, LFW. With the assistance of the Keepers of the Feather, you managed to make your way through the village streets, seemingly unnoticed. Eventually up to the front doors of the house. Deciding to go in the back, you went in, perused, looked around as best you could, found nothing of interest. Not a soul, not an item within view.
we did steal some shit though.
Oh,
that
boy,
didn't stop
did we.
us.
It was a good time for me.
I
Making your way to the second floor,
There
you
we go.
eventually unlocked a door with a very skillful thieves' tools check from your resident rogue.
nimble fingers.
That allows you to gain access to the room of Stella Wachter, the daughter of Lady Fiona Wachter, long believed to be dead by the villagers, but to all of you, to some keen perceptive eyes and some nice insight checks previously, knew to still be alive and residing within the house. Curing her of some kind of long-term madness, making her believe that she was some kind of a cat. You eventually had a conversation with her where she insisted on speaking with her mother and gave a very different version of events from what you had been told by her mother. Eventually leaving her in the room under the guard of your imp, the party made their way to the basement, whereupon a series of skeletons rose up from the ground, apparently dead villagers of Valaki that had been able to reanimate if anyone were to lay a foot on the ground. Stepping up to a secret door with a few footsteps leading to it, the party managed to discern that there was some kind of a ritual occurring on the other side of the door, but it took just a little bit too long.
And then we argued about it for 5 minutes, and then by that time the ritual had concluded.
Everything was fine.
Yeah,
Village
it
was
took just a
fine.
little bit too
Just like
long, and
every
then suddenly
movie.
started hearing heavy thumping footfalls and handfalls on the other side, and some very demonic, infernal speech being
We
uttered
knocked
from
first,
two
yeah.
distinct voices. Eventually pushing the panel, opening the door,
Sometimes you wanna see
found
Grandma in that.
Lady Fiona Wachter with an imp at her side had summoned a giant, 4-armed, 2 of which were claws demon, horns everywhere, and massive snarling mouth, in the center of a summoning circle with 5 dead cultists, apparently the members of her servants within the house. You fought the creature, fought the lady, managed to slay them both, albeit barely, with a few lucky hits on the final round before the party, confused under the effect of a spell from the creature, began to turn on each other. But it was managed to be felled, and with one final blow, Lady Fiona Wachter killing herself in the fire that she threw out a massive fireball in an attempt to bring everyone in the room to their knees, but failed. So we pick up with everybody having been brought alive, not rested by any stretch, but at least not on death's door, with Lady Fiona Wachter seemingly dead on the ground, and the creature's head caved open.
I thought she was unconscious.
Yeah, you were told that she was unconscious. We
Yeah.
did
No,
not.
she killed herself.
Yeah.
No.
You
That
said
was-
you
You
said
definitely
unconscious.
said
You definitely-
She is unconscious.
Sorry.
Has been unconscious now for 2 rounds. So
Oh.
So I run over and I yell, healing word her from
I
a
just
distance.
throw a healing potion onto her body.
Spike it.
so you heal her.
Yeah, no, because we went up
Oh.
to her because the doc took her spell focus and we realized that she had fake marks.
Yeah, we were over. Well, no, kind of. We Jordy ended the session, then we asked a couple follow-up questions. But I specifically wrote down where we left off, and it said the demon dead, Fiona unconscious, dead servants, with marked faces, but Fiona's face was not
But I mean,
marked.
she did blow herself up.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, she blew herself up, was knocked to 0 hit points, succeeded on 2 death saving throws, and failed
right.
on 3.
Okay.
What?
So she
died.
is dead.
Because no one ran over and stabilized her. You looked around the room, you looked at her body, you looked at what was there. Five rounds was
I
more than enough
think
stuff.
we definitely misunderstood you. I thought,
Hugely.
like,
Yeah.
we definitely thought she was, like, unconscious but not dead.
Well,
Well, it's the same thing as you guys. If she was brought to 0 hit points, she goes to death saving throws.
I didn't even
Right,
realize
but
she
we
was.
didn't.
That's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole
No,
point,
that's
is that
fine.
she threw the fireball and killed
Like
herself.
I knew that she was trying to like sacrifice herself, cyanide pill, but
Right,
I
I
didn't
think-
realize it had.
I think we all thought that
Taken
we
effect.
left off the session where she was unconscious, and we would sort of decide what to do next when we came back, and we also
Yeah.
thought
So-
we would heal her.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll say that in that case she's failed. She succeeded 2 and failed 2.
Okay.
So are you bringing her back to life? Or are you stabilizing her because you've got
We're just
no time?
stabilizing.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you stabilizing?
Leaf.
Oh, you cast Spare the Dying.
Okay, so you can come over and spare the dying on her. Go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
I think I'm still
It's a
unconscious though.
praise.
We're not going to.
I'm just.
Wait.
Just
I'm gonna check on old Les and stabilize him.
All right. So Les is conscious. He's at 1 hit point.
Okay.
I'm gonna revive. But
I'll-
everybody else
Wakey,
in the area-
dingus.
she died.
Is it dead now?
You did it, buddy.
No, fuck yeah.
You did a kill.
Actually, I did it, but
Let's make him feel good for you.
I never get to kill things. I'm excited about this one.
Someone else's wife
Oh, actually, you know
squished
what?
to death.
Hey, Les.
Me?
So bad news. Elith was the one who killed the demon. It wasn't you, buddy. Sorry.
But you fucking helped, bud.
You helped. You did good.
You,
But you
you
didn't
did
kill
a
it though.
real good job at distracting it.
You did.
That's
you were a
very
great
true.
distractor.
You were.
Well, if
so
that's the bit
Leaf,
that-
how's
that's good then.
how's she looking?
Yeah, so
The plan worked.
I'll be kind of.
I'm gonna take some rope and tie her up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Proper
thanks.
and tie her.
Yep. There's no chairs or anything in the room, so you're just like proper against a wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like kind of
And we'll maybe a
split.
couple
I'm
of
not
us
gonna
will
be real
stand around her.
gentle.
Okay.
No.
Real rope
I'll
art
cast
we got
like
going.
Cure
not mean,
Wounds
but
at a
not-
first level on Les as well.
Okay. Good roll for that one.
That is going
What do I
to.
roll? Or do you roll?
I
Oh,
roll
we're gonna-
1d8.
Oh.
1d8 plus.
It's okay. I have a decent amount of
Sure.
first level skill slots, and I feel like I have 1 or 2 to spare. Oh, fuck me, really? Cool. 5. You get 5 hit points back. Better than nothing. Better than a
That's
kick in
better
the
than
teeth.
nothing.
She's stabilized. Is she conscious now?
No.
No.
She's breathing, but eyes closed, very much like worse for wear. Skin badly burned, lots of arrow marks in her body, a series of slashes and
Can I
gashes.
pull all of my arrows out of her body?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'll retrieve my
Sure.
arrows as
Yeah.
well.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take those back.
Okay, can I kind of be stabilizing her in some way that's bringing her to consciousness?
Just before you do that, I'm just gonna tie her mouth with a piece of,
Oh.
just in case. I don't
Yes.
want her casting any spells.
Bondage gram. I have her focus. She can't do anything.
Oh really? Okay. All right. Then that's fine. Then maybe just leave it off of her.
What kind of magic was she able to do? What
Oh, I remember.
What was her
It was
abilities?
like-
How was she able to?
Real explodey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, what does she need to cast another spell?
The focus.
And you have that, so there's
Yeah.
no danger of her
Again,
doing
What is
anything.
her focus?
Her focus?
Yeah.
It was a small one.
Oh, okay, cool. That's mine now.
Hey gang, just so we're aware, there was an imp when we came here, and we have not taken care of that. That guy's flying around.
I mean, if he's invisible, how are we gonna find him?
I want it noted again that I look like Isaac right now,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
so it's out there.
Do I notice anything around us blurred or weird?
I-
Perception check.
Fuck.
Ooh,
So 1.
Look
actually,
around, you're like, there's everywhere.
would my divine sense
Salty.
work to see if the imp's still in the room?
I don't believe it does, because I think you need to be able to see the thing, and then it will tell you if it's undead, fiend, etc.
You could sense it through walls, can't you, with divine sense?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty sure divine
Do you
sense.
Hope, do you have that thing that you can make invisible things visible again?
Uh,
Divine sense.
Oh, I have fairy fire.
You have the thing
Within
to make
60 feet of you
invisible
that is not
people.
behind total cover.
So
Flurry foot.
Location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet is not behind total cover. You do not get a ping.
so he's a.
I think it's.
I think I can do it though. Fairy fire will outline everything in the room, and it's a
But
cantrip.
it's
by
not
now,
in the
right?
room, probably.
I don't
we
think
don't know.
it's. Yeah, I mean, you could do it just in case.
We all like
It's a
our
Fire is
cantrip.
20-foot radius.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll hit most of the room, but yeah, it'll light up all of you.
If you want, we
Don't worry,
could
Zoo, and
sweep a
everything
couple
else.
floors. I mean, she's not going to wake up for a hot minute.
I think we
Leaf,
should probably
can you
all go
carry her?
together. Yeah.
Definitely,
Throw over the
yeah,
shoulder?
I can definitely fireman carry her.
I'll
okay.
say as well, just what's your passive medicine?
Sorry,
So just 11 plus your medicine modifier.
18.
18. Yeah, you're able to know that she's going to be out for a couple hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, unless
Great.
healed by magical means
Yeah.
or like slapped awake kind of thing.
I mean,
what
tempting,
I intend
but
to do eventually.
Okay.
before we leave this room, is there any? There's nothing else in this room besides the or are there any hidden doors, anything like that? And follow-up question: is there anything on the demon that I could take as a trophy, like horns or what have you?
I was gonna say we need to something to prove that we.
Yeah, make a perception check for the room. The demon is massive. It's from arm stretch to arm stretch. You're looking probably at 50 feet.
Fuck. 12.
12. Looking around the room, feeling on the walls, looking for any of those rough patches. Everything is pretty smooth stone, so
kazooie.
nothing really needs hits. That seems to be triggering in the same way that you're used to.
Okay.
Looking at the creature, there are many things. Massive teeth, huge horns on the top of the head that are almost the size of your torso.
I feel like it wouldn't be very sensitive to hope for us to take the horns and display them.
Hey, Les, buddy, you
Round
want
one.
to tone
I'd
out?
like to
You
take a
could-
tooth.
Me too.
Sure. Yeah,
You can practice,
easily enough.
huh?
You reach in and you're able to just gouge out.
I can
the
barely
dead
see you
mouth.
right now.
I want a really big
Grab some
incisor.
demon
Yeah.
parts. You want some
I
demon
want
parts?
like a
Of what?
sharp
Do you remember
one.
that
If
time
you're
you
looking
distracted
at like
the
one of
demon while
big teeth,
Elif
you'd be
killed
looking
it?
probably about the size of your forearm.
Cool. Perfect.
This giant tooth.
I'll take a few smaller ones as well to like maybe barter to that guy at the.
Sure, about the size of your hand outstretched
Okay.
like that. Those would be the smaller teeth.
I'm gonna drink the last potion I got.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, dang, I can
What was it
heal.
called again?
Yeah,
Gallop
Dang.
Razu.
Kevin,
Kevin.
Oh,
He's already
Yeah, you're all.
potentially
Drink
done it.
Whatever. It was just a minor one. Didn't make my
yeah, but now I gotta heal everyone next time.
I could. I
Yeah,
think
don't waste the potions.
Elif and I are looking a little worse for wear.
I can-
Elif,
I am.
if you can help.
Yeah, I can do, if we've got just a touch of time, I can do a prayer of healing, which...
Looking around the room, looking at the floor, you don't see anything else in sight that looks like it's of an imminent threat. The only real remaining threat is the now stabilized Lady Walker.
Yeah, now quick question though, Jordy. With a bag of holding,
Yes.
when you put something in it, like it cuts off the airflow, right? So
It
like
does.
if we put like an unconscious body in it, like
Yep.
not wide enough to do
but
that.
hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It puts something in 5 feet in diameter, right? Like sorry, 5 feet. Like how wide does the bag?
How
go?
wide does the bag go?
Yeah.
The bag would open to about that wide. So you'd be able to just barely fit a person
You
in like one
can.
limited time.
Perfect.
No, you
Um,
can't put her in though.
No, we can if we don't close. If we keep her head out. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Banjo Kazooie. Is there any chance we could have just her little head?
Is this an intimidation tactic?
No,
like you're like
can we
burying
just
her
have
whole
her, like,
body
her
except for her
head
head? Be
sticking out
like,
so
you
she
better
can
say what you
breathe?
want, or we're gonna suffocate you and all
I'm gonna be
that.
honest, I don't hate this idea.
Can we just carry her and
I
put
would
like
love it.
a little like
I
hat over the
freaking
back?
love it.
I'm gonna
I'm
say,
down.
I'm gonna say let's
would be
not
easy to
because
carry
we
her.
might need things from the bag.
So I will say
Yeah,
as well,
and what if
there
she
is
slips
enough
in?
air in the bag for breathing creatures inside the bag to survive up to 10 minutes, divided by the number of creatures in the bag.
Okay, so I don't
There's
think
one
there's
creature, she can be in there for up to 10 minutes.
Oh man, but I've been collecting all those bugs I've seen.
a shit enough biomass in there.
I
Yeah,
also
okay.
have
gotta
a
be
number
just-
of these, you guys,
Look,
so don't be
it's
afraid
just
to like
an
go for
idea.
it.
We don't need to do it right now, but if we need to sneak anywhere,
So I'm gonna put this out
it's
there.
an option.
We got an old lady tied up, all bondage style. We got her daughter upstairs,
Yep.
and we got an imp on the loose. I'm saying this all as Isaac in Isaac's voice.
I think that imp is straight to Strahd.
Well, I agree.
I think that imp has gone straight to Strahd to warn him.
Well, we also know that this is a cult. There are likely more members of the cult than these 5 here. What if the imp has gone into the town to find the other cult members?
Do we think that there's more people in this town who are in this cult?
How many
I
do we
assume so.
remember?
There's-
How many servants during the dinner when we were at her house did we see?
5.
And quick question, just serving, like recognizing their faces, do we recognize any of the dead bodies?
We asked
from
that, I
the
think.
city?
Yeah.
Okay,
we
we do?
already
Okay,
said.
Yeah, you recognize them as the regular servants. The one person you do not see was the man who greeted you at the door when
See,
you first
that's
Oh,
what I
is
mean.
that the guy who approached me during the archery tournament?
Yes.
And he's like knows what
He
he's
is
doing.
not.
What was his name?
Well, that's the thing, because Lady Wachter, her marks on her were fake, whereas the marks on the servants were real.
Yes.
Has she been playing some kind of long game? But also, Doctor, can Rick help locate this other imp? Does he have any skills in that respect, like for finding other
Imp sense?
Imp sense.
imp sense?
I don't think he does. Does he, Jordy? I don't think he does.
No.
Yeah, no. Rick's just Rick.
I think we might just have to write that one off, and
And hope it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass later.
at the end of the day, Strahd's got eyes everywhere. If
Well, that's the thing,
Might
right?
already
Like,
know.
if Fiona's in Hawk with Strahd, then why would she need the imp to tell Strahd anything?
Perhaps it's that we're in the middle of foiling her fucking plan.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should wake her up and ask her what the fuck that plan was.
I
think-
think perhaps we need to let Stella, like, to see if she's still here. I know Rick hasn't told you anything, has
Oh
he?
yeah, would Rick have pinged me? Is she there?
Yeah, she hasn't moved.
Okay, yeah, she's there.
I don't know. Is this going to be far too traumatic to show her what her mother just tried to do?
I mean, her mother's also covered in burns and pretty fucked up. So
Well, I think we just tell her what her mother
One
did.
thing I will say, though,
Yes, sir.
just so your note as well, is Rick has been noting.
Hey, what the fuck's going on down there? There's some crazy shit, like tremors and stuff up here.
And the girl didn't move.
Oh.
She seemed to notice them.
Yeah.
But
So this
Like,
is
she didn't seem
She
surprised.
knows what's going on.
Yeah.
so this is like a regular thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
you're not sure.
she knew. I mean, she didn't want us to go downstairs, but she didn't stop us. But she knew that there was something.
She didn't want to
spooky
go
about-
down there though.
No, and she knew there was something off about it. Okay, here's what I suggest: go upstairs, find Stella, leave the mother's body outside before we go in and talk to her. We don't show her right away. Tell her what happened. Tell her we can show her if she has any doubts, but we'd prefer not to show her the battle scene. We have her mother. Her mother's injured, and we're going to the fucking Burgermaster so she can talk to her precious Victor, and we can get to the bottom of all this.
I
agree.
does anyone want to take 10 minutes and
yes.
heal
I
up?
do want to do that.
Please.
Can we,
Ow.
Okay, and I would like to cast a Prayer of Healing.
Sure.
So
Do you like
that'll-
to use, or do you have whatever it is, the thing that maxes healing first?
Yo, whoa, what?
There's a spell that I can't remember the name of it, but it's like whenever you roll a die to heal, you instead heal the maximum.
That's a thing that I get. I think it's 17th level. If there's a...
amount. No, there's a spell that does it
What
as
the
well.
fuck? Okay, I'm not aware of that.
If it does
yeah.
it now, then
So
please.
Leaf has not prepared it.
Yeah.
It is definitely a spell.
However,
but
we're
I
going to
think
be here for 10
it's-
minutes, so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
For
kinda
here,
confused.
for
Yeah,
two.
no. I know that's a
I'm
thing that I get
good.
at level 17 that I just get to max out everything, but
I have
it's
3
okay. I'll be
hit
long
points,
dead
or
before
rather,
that happens.
Beacon of Hope.
Beacon of Hope.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
third level
very
spell.
tired.
Okay.
Anytime a hit die is rolled, anytime a die is rolled to heal, that die becomes the maximum number automatically.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
That's
I'm
sexy.
pretty sure in that case I have Beacon of Hope is one of my spell things that I have.
It's a cleric spell.
Sorry, as a life cleric, I get that.
Life cleric.
Let me just double check.
Fucking
it.
bless
check
you.
Because this makes a big difference, especially for prayer of healing, because then it's just like auto 24 hit points or something.
Yeah, so that I do have it prepared.
There you
as
go.
a
So yes,
spell.
you'd be able to
Sick.
recognize that.
So I'll ding and ding that. So that's a third and a second level.
And then it heals for how long?
So that'll be 16 plus 21 points of
So
healing.
it's 2d8.
2d8 plus my spell casting.
Yeah, so 21 plus you heal yourself
Yeah.
as well. On top of that.
Yay.
So yeah, so 21 hit points for everybody.
Nice.
So for me, who gets
Fucking thank
20
you.
1,000.
Yeah, I get 20 something.
You get 23.
It's like a second level, so I get
Yeah, it's 23.
So I'm still somewhat injured, but I'm
Oh,
just.
whoops.
Hang on. I do have a couple potions, so if we get there and anything else breaks out, I'm just going to chug them.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of like halfway decent.
I'm great. I'm feeling on top of the world.
Yeah, I'm about halfway as well.
Are you
so-
still a gorilla?
No, he's Isaac.
Okay.
He's Isaac now.
Right, you're Isaac.
Yeah.
Right.
Monkey.
How did you kill the beast anyway?
It was really cool.
Well, I've learned
really
a
missed
really
out a lot.
cool earth spell recently when we were fighting the druids called Hail of Thorns, and whenever one of my arrows lands, it has a bunch of magical thorns come out, and so I cast it at a little more extra strength than I usually do, and it ripped its head open with magical thorns. It was pretty badass, actually.
You should have seen it.
It was.
I just look at my blood
great.
spear and go,
I mean, my bow's not magical, so it's not as cool as your spear, if that helps.
Nice. Sooner
You
or
feel
later.
it kind of like thrum in your hand a little bit.
Got Fiona and say, are we gonna pick this one up or what's going on?
Yeah,
But
let's.
we don't
let's
have
head
a
out.
plan yet.
We
We're going
at
upstairs,
least
aren't we?
just
Oh, yes.
suggested a plan.
I'm quite sick. Bear with me.
Yeah. So okay, upstairs,
I'm fine.
Stella. Maybe Leaf, you want to stay outside with the
Yeah, I'll
with the
hang
mother,
out with her.
and we'll go talk to her, and then depending on that conversation's outcome, we head straight to the Burgomaster, I believe. That's my thought. I think we've done enough dicking around trying to play the politics of this town. We just need to get to the bottom of this.
I wouldn't mind taking a look at that fancy room with the urn again.
Sure.
Yeah. Was that on the second floor?
You mean the one
No,
across?
it was.
Oh, from across from the
Yeah.
dining room.
Yeah.
It's on the way up, so we may as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys wanted to, I just want to see what that. See if maybe that's like a person or if it's like worth anything.
I don't ever like splitting the party, Doctor. So I can at least come with you if you.
I don't particularly care.
Well, I do,
But
Doctor.
yes, by all means. Oh, Mamma Mia! Thank you.
oh, wait.
So we go upstairs and you wanna check
Why don't
out,
we just all swing by the
Yeah.
room with the urn and then head upstairs?
check out the urinal?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so coming upstairs, bringing Fiona with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a bit of a tight squeeze to come out of the closet holding another person.
It always
what
has
is this?
been.
I can
I'll get
take
you-
Oh, we have that. Sorry.
So between you and Hope, kind of like two on the two
Yeah.
hands and two on the feet, you know,
Scooting her along.
with minus the stretcher,
Yeah.
stretchering her up and out of the
Yeah.
It's
But also just the
Guys, there's another
point,
door.
like the thing of her body as well,
No,
just
no, no.
being
This
like,
is fun though.
Okay, that's a bit. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
So all of you come up onto the main floor of the building, making your way
You
over
go out
into
the
the
normal
den.
door.
Yeah.
So in the den you had the golden goblet, which I believe you took.
I did. Did I? Who took it? Was it me?
Did somebody take? Because there was a golden goblet, there was a crystal wine decanter,
Oh.
4 silver candelabras, and
Holy
a
shit!
bronze
We
one.
didn't talk about
I
any
think
of this.
you took
I'm
one
taking
yourself.
all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like
So you
all
got a
of the
golden
Harry Potter
goblet?
books.
Hold up, golden goblin.
Goblet's worth about 250 gold pieces.
Hey. I'm gonna borrow this.
Yeah, go
Thank
for
you.
There's a crystal wine decanter. Again, about 250 gold.
Yep.
4 silver candelabras, worth about 25 gold each. And then the bronze urn with frolicking children painted on it. It's worth about 100 gold.
Frolicking.
Ooh. Can I take a peek in the urn?
Sure. Opening up the lid, nothing inside.
Oh, cool.
You
Take
might
it.
not have much luck fencing those in town, depending
Well,
on how this situation comes out. I don't
Someone
think
else will buy.
All right, fair enough. Perhaps the
Is it
Vistani.
actually empty the inn, or does it just appear empty?
Make a perception check.
Can I as well? Because I'm holding it.
Yeah, go for it.
Mhm.
Actually, it's the
Okay.
investigation.
Okay. 14.
12.
12. Looking inside, feeling as best you can. Like, it doesn't really fit your hand in there. It's a very narrow
Yeah.
opening. But kind of taking a range of your fingers around the inside. It looks
And then
about the
their
right
outfits
thickness
totally
of the
match
walls.
tonight.
Doesn't
Sorry,
appear to be
like
anything
our
hiding inside
outfits
it.
really match
Cool.
tonight. We both have like
Yeah,
long
take it.
skirts and like
Alright.
earthy
So, all
t-shirts.
those taken with you?
Yeah.
Ground floor essentially cleared at this point. So
Yeah.
what's
All in the bag.
Back up to Stella's room.
Okay. Staying downstairs?
Oh.
No, just outside the door.
I'll stay downstairs with Leaf.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll just kind of post up and.
Yeah.
Okay. So you two with Lady Walker downstairs? Okay. The other 4 of you going up?
We're doing
Alright.
bits.
Yeah, we're trying
Weekend
new
at
things.
Bernie's.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Lady Fiona Walker.
That's a bad idea.
My favorite grandma. Anybody want to have a party? I got
She's talking
wine.
now.
Oh
boy.
If anybody here has seen the horror movie Ma, shout out to Jamie, by the way. She introduced me to this movie called Maude.
With Octavia Butler.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
it's like,
I've heard of it.
Spencer.
Oh, I heard good
Oh,
things
yeah,
about that.
Octavia
so
Butler is
creepy.
not a
She just like
movie with
boots for
Star.
some kids, buys them alcohol, and then ends up basically hosting parties for them. And then when they start being like, oh man, she's kind of creepy, then she just like goes crazy ex-girlfriend on this group of teenagers.
Yo.
Yeah.
Take
It's
that,
a-
I
teen.
saw that
It's
trailers for that a
really
few
well done,
times.
actually. Like it's a great.
Octavia Spencer would be good at being like
It's just Fiona
completely off the
Apter.
rocker.
Yeah, exactly. So was a kid from back then.
Okay.
Gross. Anyways,
Good.
so heading
Teach that
upstairs,
kid
the
a
remaining
lesson.
4 of you posting up outside the door. Rick's still invisible there, and you can look inside and you see that Stella's just kind of sitting on the bed, hands kind of clasped in front of her, and she's just kind of like rocking forward and backward on the bed.
Okay, I'm
Does she
gonna-
look like she's praying? Okay.
She
Just
looks like she's
nervous.
afraid and nervous.
Okay, I have a good rapport going with her. I'm gonna kind of open up the conversation if that's okay with you guys. So maybe we'll all come in.
Yep.
Stella,
So,
we've taken care of what was downstairs. I think you might know what that would have been. Your mother is alive. We didn't kill her. Well, she tried to kill herself, actually, but
what was it?
it was a very, very dangerous demon. She wanted to burn the whole town down. We heard her say, burn it all. So, I know you've no reason to trust us. I hope the fact that we've stayed our hands at slaying your mother, which was done partially out of concern for your welfare, goes towards allowing you to know that we're trustworthy people. If there's anything else that you know about what's going on with your mother and the feud between her and the Burgomaster, we'd appreciate any other information before we take her to him.
You need to understand this wasn't my idea. She's my mother. I thought she was doing what was best for me and best for the family. Apparently, I was naive.
It's hard for us sometimes to understand the motivations our parents have. No one here is blaming you. We just want to know what you have to say.
But the next time your mother puts you in a summoning circle and uses you to summon a demon, then come talk to me.
My mother did some very unsavory things in the name of her art as well. So, nothing quite that bad, but I do have an idea of what you're talking about.
This wasn't the first time she'd summoned a demon.
She never put herself in harm's way, always using someone else. Me.
Oh,
I was the one who summoned them. Always small ones. Essentially testing her abilities. These books that were being given to her. She used to use me for it, and then suddenly she decided she didn't want to use me anymore. And then I woke up here.
Stella, did she ever take you to a place out in the prayer grounds, the abandoned prayer grounds in your town?
No, not with me. She used to go there every at least once a month.
Bless you.
Said she always had business outside the village. Someone she was going to meet, but I was never included in those conversations. My father disagreed wholeheartedly, but she insisted on going every time.
I'm sorry, it sounds like you've had a rough go of it, and I know that dredging up these memories must be quite painful for you given how you woke up today.
Did you say she's still alive?
Yes.
she's currently recuperating.
What,
Hey, guy!
what did she summon? Describe it.
I described the demon. I mean, obviously, I remember kind of what it was.
Giant
But,
horns.
Yeah.
It's got really big
You said
fucking
I'm gonna
pincers.
pull out the tooth and just
yeah,
Like a 50 foot
kind of-
wide.
that was one of its teeth.
Apparently, she's gone on to bigger and worse things.
She did have a small imp with her that we weren't able to find.
Mephisto, yes. He's been in the family for, well, again, I don't know how long I was out, but at least since maybe a year before my memory blanks. He was one of the first things that she successfully summoned, bound him to her, and then started using more and more sacrifices, trying to bring bigger and bigger things into the world.
What else did she sacrifice?
Usually animals at first, and then eventually a person. And that was when I said that I couldn't do it anymore. As soon as I walked into that room and I saw a body on the ground, I had to take a step back, and then I don't remember anything after that.
Nearly the entirety of your mother's retinue has their throats cut downstairs. So,
What can you tell us about Yosef?
Yosef. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Did I say it right?
You did?
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Stella, sorry. When you say you saw that she'd sacrificed somebody, who did you know that person?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't really leave the house all too much except to go to the burgomaster's mansion. I mean, based on the clothing and the slightly underfed face, I would have to imagine potentially one of the villagers of Velaki, maybe one of the farmers.
Is she telling the truth for that?
Maintenance, I checked.
That's not great. That's an 11.
11. Tough to read, but she seems to be opening up about quite a few things.
Can I look around for the imp?
Sure. You got a perception check.
15.
15. Looking around. You spot Rick.
He doesn't
About it.
fart like that.
Hey Jordy, just as a thing, can I recall Rick, because now the party's up,
Yep.
and have him pop outside and just see if there's any commotion in the village?
Sure.
Based on-
Perception check for Rick.
nice, good call.
Rich.
Yeah,
For Rich?
Rick's cousin.
Since there were tremors
Still
and
have-
shit, you probably want
That's not
to
great.
put some attention.
What is it plus?
Rick's perception, I think it's +6.
Oh, okay, well that's better. That's a 10.
10. Looking around, everything looks pretty normal to what you guys had seen before. No one seems to really noticing anything. One of the big things here is that the way the Walker Mansion is built is it's very much on top of like a small hill in the middle of town with a massive area around it. You would imagine probably nobody would have heard or felt any commotion given the distance between it and the closest road.
That's actually good.
I'm gonna have Rick post up just in case there's like guards that approach.
Pops up on the roof and he's perched next to 2 ravens.
Stella, what do you know about your mother's relationship with Strahd, the vampire?
It wasn't an unfriendly one. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I think it was a little more warmer than unfriendly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it always did cross my mind where she was finding these books.
We found some books, and they appear to be given to her from him, as well as deeds to property around the land.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that.
It's all right. We're not trying to scare you or intimidate you. We just want a best idea of what happened here before we go to the burgomaster. Because to be frank, he might not trust us either. We'd like to know what happened.
I understand. I've been as forthcoming as I feel comfortable with right now.
And we thank you for that.
I think at this point, I would like to go with my mother to see the burgomaster.
We will take you as on your mother.
Stella, would you perhaps want to take time to wash up here or anything
No,
like
I
that?
want to go exactly as I am. I want them to see what has happened to me over the last, I don't know how long, but
2 or 3 years, I believe.
I just want to go now.
All right, let's we just need to gather the rest of our party and Stella, we don't mean to do any harm, but I can't have you interacting with your mother now. She's passed out. We don't really trust her to not cause trouble if she's woken up.
That's
So
fine.
Thank
Is
you.
there a way for you to call Mephisto?
No, he was bound to her. She was the only one that he listened to. But was he not with her?
He
left.
was, but he went invisible, and we haven't seen him since.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm not sure you'll find him. I mean, it is one of the key features of him. Is anytime anything needed to be done quietly, he was a very successful servant at that.
Can I realize this is backtracking slightly, but the stuff she was like kind of the stuff she was saying about Strahd and things. I'm losing my sense of track of it, and I was like, I have something I want to check, but now I can't remember what exactly that thing was to
Everything really,
check.
based on what you've seen, like she's being pretty forthright about everything. Like this is stuff that she wasn't talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearing that commotion downstairs, hearing it all come to an end, and seeing you come out from the basement, she's more willing to talk about things.
She didn't want to talk to us because she thought we were gonna die.
Maybe, or she didn't know what her mother was gonna do. She came up and found that she had talked to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I can see that you're stressed, and we should probably resolve this as soon as possible. So let's
Please.
gather the rest of our party and go. We'd like to lock your house up so that no one can get in. So if anyone needs to see what's happened here, are you able to? Do you know how the locking mechanisms and all that work?
The locks all closed from the inside. We always had servants. There was no reason to have any keys or anything.
All right.
I mean, I assume though the doors were locked when you came in. Theoretically, you'd be able to lock them on the way out.
All right. Let's plan on
Potentially.
that.
Stella, just before we rejoin with the rest of our group, did you know Isaac well, the Burgomaster's advisor?
Isaac, he's been around for quite some time, even from when I was a little girl. He's been in the village. He's an odd man, to say the least, but as far as I've seen, no real harm or threat to anyone.
Because just to make sure,
He's here.
one of our party members who was up here earlier, the good doctor, the half-elf in the top hat,
The fancy man.
yes, he is able to change his appearance, and he is currently,
I understand.
just so that you were aware of this, and we're not.
Well, if that's the case, then just point me in the direction of the correct Isaac when we see him.
Will do.
Also, I'm sorry, Doctor's not in the room. I don't know if you were waiting to see what her reaction would be.
It's your call.
Yeah.
So
It's done.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep that on while we walk through the village? I mean, I don't
Are
know.
we going downstairs now?
I'm gonna figure it
Let's,
out as I go.
downstairs.
Quickly before because we saw that something on Fiona pinged when we first saw her, magic-wise, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Mantle.
Can I take a peek in the bedroom to see if I can locate anything like that?
Or if it's on
Sure.
her body.
Yeah, make a perception check.
No, we checked if it was on
Oh,
the
that's
body.
right.
It
Yeah,
wasn't.
Yeah, it's not on the body.
Can we use the wand to find
Oh,
that?
hello.
I can detect magic if you want.
Oh yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great too.
If-
18.
18. Looking around, trying to find anything. You see shawls, cloaks, dresses. Nothing that really fits the same like metallic mantle piece that she was wearing before. Based on everything, looking around the house, all of you spreading out for a couple minutes, it's not here.
Can I go into the bedroom and use a charge from the
Sure,
Wand
do
of
it then.
Secrets?
Sure. Using the charge.
Yeah, one charge.
Nothing.
Oh dang.
So I'll
gonna
follow
be at the
the
fairgrounds.
doctor up into the bedroom,
Mhm.
and when we had a moment, we're
Mhm.
gonna pick up the
I'm gonna take old man Walker.
old
with
man
us.
Walker and
What?
I'll load him into the bag.
Okay.
I don't know
You're-
about this.
yeah,
All
we
right.
don't know about it.
None of you know.
But we don't know.
You don't know.
I literally don't know about this.
It
okay.
was Leaf's idea. He's learning.
Okay. So
I think
make your way
Oh,
downstairs.
I think he needs a
Christmas.
proper burial.
Are you going out the
Is he really
unlocked
dead?
back door that you unlocked, or
I think we should
are
go out the
you
back door
Going
because
out the front door that you're unlocking.
I think we should go out the back door and then relock it behind us because the front door is still locked.
Yeah.
Rick seeing anything in the vicinity?
No changes.
Okay.
Uh,
Guards still posted around?
Guards are posted, yeah, on every exit and entrance to the mansion. There's the 4 gates, kind of east, south, northwest kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're posted up at each of those, 2 per gate, but nothing else in the area seems to be
Wait,
I'm gonna
city
stay Isaac
guards
for a little
or
bit.
are like Raven people guards?
city guards.
I'm gonna stay Isaac for a moment then.
And
I'll relock
Is,
the door that we're
with
going out.
Rick, are the ravens still
Make a,
there? Are they still keeping
diesel
watch?
check.
Are the ravens still keeping watch?
2 ravens perched up on the roof.
Just before you go outside, Doctor, are we sure that it's a good idea for us to mess around with the Burgomaster any further than we already have with you imitating
Well,
Isaac?
I'm sure these guards are gonna have some questions. Why we're coming out of the house with a burned up old
Coming out
lady,
the back door.
with a burned up old lady, and a girl they've
I mean,
never seen before.
we have answers to that, but we need to say them to the Burgomaster.
I can also just order the guards out of the way as Isaac.
But
I
I
just don't-
also wonder
I
how
agree.
our friends, the ravens, will.
They know what I do.
So,
I guess my point is that these guards are likely to tell somebody at some point about Isaac. It's bound to get out that we, 1, imitated him, and that 2, you have the ability to do that.
I'm gonna say we're already probably in trouble with the Burgomaster because I sprung you
Yeah,
guys.
I guess
that's
that was
true.
my point, is that I don't know if we want to be more in
Right.
trouble than we are.
But the point we
At this
we were
point, if they try
you
anything, we're
sprung
gonna
us so
burn.
that we could take debts and
Can I be hanging back with Stella whilst this is happening?
Since,
Discussion.
since we're planning to go to the Burgomaster anyways, what do we care if some guards accompany
Yeah,
us?
that's true.
I mean,
Okay, it's up to you. I can't really stop you from doing it. I'm just wondering if it's
Fantastic.
advised.
I'm staying Isaac.
Okay.
Thing is Isaac, okay.
I
So
think there needs to be a
stepping
new
out into
Burgomaster.
Less.
into the mid-afternoon sun at this point.
hell of a day.
The ravens fly off the roof. You know, Rick
Thank you kindly.
relays it to you.
Yeah.
That 2 of the ravens have flown off the roof.
Okay.
And they seem to be flying down to the same entrance that you came in, and appear to be turning back into human form,
Mhm.
and then begin to talk to the guards once more,
Oh,
potentially
okay.
distracting them,
Alright.
Okay,
allowing
great.
you to get out.
Cool.
Cool. Maybe I'll cast Pass Without Trace to try and get us through the town unseen. Well, do we want to
I
stealth
think
though?
we're fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I won't do it.
Okay.
Let's just keep going. We're
Alright.
gonna head straight to the Burgomasters.
So, are you trying to do this stealthily, or are you just walking down the hill out of the house?
I think
Stealthily out of the
we'll
house.
try to
We're-
get
we were
past
at
the
the back
guards.
door.
Right. So, but there's guards posted at the 4.
So if the ravens are distracting them,
corners,
we're trying to stealth past that. But then once we get into town, we're not necessarily trying to like.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so-
also, how are we carrying LFW?
Fireman carry.
On the leaf shoulder.
Yeah.
Leave shoulders.
Listen.
Yeah.
And her husband's in my bag.
And I'll walk with Stella as well and try to like
Yeah.
you know stick with her.
Okay.
I'm both like being there to calm
We're gonna
her.
need to roll stealth checks, please.
Doop-be-doop-be-doop.
So I'm just
Yeah.
carrying her.
Seems like it.
Alright.
Fuck.
That's
I-
very funny.
Hold on.
tough.
Can I, like, if I'm wearing a cloak, can I tie her so it looks like I have a hunchback?
I'm like a little baby.
Can we match?
I mean,
Like a baby
You're
John.
tall enough, yeah. You just walk with a bit of a stoop.
That's kind of what I thought. If I can, like it's like wearing a putting a jacket if you're wearing a backpack
Yeah.
over that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wakes up.
Okay. So stealth.
Billion.
14.
Ooh.
19.
16.
10.
At disadvantage.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got 17 and an 8.
8.
At disadvantage.
13.
Okay.
We're doing
and a
great.
17 for Stella.
She's gone.
She's a cat. She's a cat. Meow.
Oh, like
Had
cats.
a lot of practice.
Oh,
It's one of the creatures.
it's
from the cats movie.
Rumpelteazer.
Very, very silently coming out. The 2 guards who are in your way, the 2 being distracted.
Oh no.
Disadvantage. That's still a 15.
Yeah. Okay.
You begin to make your way down, and then a few awkward steps and a bit of clanking of armor, and both of them turn over and look and see your party, led by Isaac, coming out of the house with a young girl and an old. Oh no, actually, you said you got the cloak
Yeah,
over,
she's
so
over the
Yeah.
cloak.
she's not visible at the moment. Okay, so they just kind of
Holy
see.
fuck.
Halt! You! What? Where are you coming from?
Return to your posts.
Make a deception check at advantage.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't guide him.
Isaac,
Uh,
old
that's
buddy.
20.
Sir. And they just turn around and begin talking to the people again.
That's right.
You wander by and you get a couple of curious looks of being like,
He didn't go
is
in.
that the outfit that he was wearing earlier? I don't know, I don't think it was.
Men! Back to your posts!
Sir! And they just kind of slam their spears into the ground as you begin to make your way out.
I come back to your post!
For more of Jesse and Okala ordering soldiers around, watch The Dragon Prince on Netflix.
Yay! That's what she. That plug worked effortlessly.
So, make your way out of the mansion area, beyond the Wachter house, beyond the gates, kind of milling back into the crowd, getting a few looks as some of the guards just passing by give you a cursory nod, and then you begin to make your way where?
Burgermasters.
Once I'm like in a crowd enough, I'm just gonna drop and go back to me.
Okay.
Just
make
so
a
people
quick-
don't notice.
Yeah, make a quick stealth check for me.
Okay. Huh? 21.
21?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough. You find a little alley that's just narrow enough for you to be able to duck into as Isaac. Drop your facade and then come back out as the doctor.
I saw you
and
counting
readjust the
3,
top
and I
hat.
was like,
So,
I'm not good at
all of you back on the road again. You are noticing as well, especially being as close as you are to Stella, that she is kind of looking around and in a little bit of disbelief and shock. But is just kind of like sticking close to the group and just really taking in the changes that have happened in the last while.
I would be kind of walking a little bit behind Elise just to make sure she doesn't like I'm like aware of her to make sure she doesn't bolt or like get scared or do something weird.
I'm gonna like actually just like offer her an arm, like in a friendly way.
Okay.
Like
She definitely takes your arm and kind of like pulls in a little bit.
I kind of want to be towards the back with Leaf and just kind of seeing if anyone is paying more attention to her with her being with us, or is she like getting any like second looks, like is there any recognition? 14?
14? Not as far as you can tell. No. Seems to just be a random girl dressed relatively poorly, but walking amongst your group, her looking very similar to the rest of the people from Milwaukee. Not getting any odd, like, who is that girl glances, but definitely people are noting that there seems to be somebody else.
Sorry. Isn't she dressed in her mother's clothes? So she's like dressed kind of fine, but she's really all banged up and disheveled and covered in poop.
It's more so as well
We've all been there.
that for the amount of time that you've been in Velaki, you've never been seen walking with a Velakian.
Okay.
I feel like there's like that, like in Lord of the Rings, in Fellowship of the Ring, there's that one hobbit who's just like sweeping his front door, always seeing us walking by with different people like, weird outsiders.
Fish man.
We are definitely the Gandalfs.
Look, they have a weird lady with them now. What a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
I want to be Shadowfax.
I was just gonna say more than Nazgul.
The horse?
Yeah.
Progressively making your way south.
Yes.
Out from the Wachter house.
Rein it in.
Past the Blue Water Inn. You do see at this point Danica is actually standing on the stoop and is looking at you guys and in complete shock and disbelief.
Does she seem like she recognizes Stella?
She does.
I'm gonna give her a little wink, like,
give her
She just kind of like looks at you and just goes.
I'm gonna.
You see her kind of mouth. Good luck.
Oh. Okay.
So, making your way further south, eventually to the entrance of the Burgomaster's mansion. Same guards posted up as were there earlier in the day. Fortifications still in place. Lots of milling around. Lots of guards coming out from the barracks and behind. What are you doing?
For the record, Allura, I think it's best if you and I sort of like hang closer to the back, just for now, while since they're
yeah.
They don't like
I
you.
was about to no, that's not me.
Actually, they wouldn't
Still
like.
don't think I would have done
you.
that.
they would not like me because
Oh, great.
Oh wow,
Well,
it's down to me.
old
Leaf and
dipshit
Liz.
got charmed by me to get you guys out.
well.
So I guess Les and Hope are leading the charge.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's urgent what we have to tell them. It's
I'm
not
very
like,
diplomatic.
Maybe you
Hey,
could
buddy,
still.
remember when we didn't kill that deer?
No, we also like
There's a
we
chance to
needed
kill
to do
some
that to
stuff.
get information to solve this problem.
Yeah,
Like-
we can. I think so. I think our story, just
There's
quickly,
some
we would have discussed this
Yep.
if they are going to interrogate us. Allura and Alith were actually looking for signs that somebody was trying to break into the Burgomaster's manor because we already suspected Lady Fiona Wachter. We were trying to see if there was
Oh my
any.
God.
If
this
she
is
was,
elaborate.
we were
Alright.
trying to see if she's here. her.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your story, and I'm gonna go up to the guards.
Okay. You do notice at this point that Stella's grip on you has loosened slightly, and she's kind of put her arms down her sides, and you kind of look like she's ready to basically run to the mansion at being told that she's allowed to
Okay,
enter.
so I just like gently but firmly grab her arm and
she
hold
just kind
her.
of like looks over at you and just...
And I just give her a nod, like, again, gentle but firm, like, you're not going anywhere, you're with us for now.
Chill.
Yeah.
Hakuna your tatas.
We need to speak with the burgomaster urgently.
Make another stealth check with Lady Walker on your back.
Hey.
At disadvantage.
Oh, it is named?
Oh.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a noise thing or not. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's a 6.
6.
Yeah.
So,
We need to speak with the burgomaster urgently. Can we speak with him now, or Isaac? We need to.
Or Victor.
Or Victor. We need to. This is so incredibly important.
state your business. Why do you need to see them? We will
Can we
relay
just, like,
to see if you are to be seen.
Have like Stella and just kind of like look at
Demons are planning to take over the town. We need to see him immediately, right now.
We
Good, I like that.
That's the best approach.
Yeah.
Make a perspective check with disadvantage.
Nice.
really? Can we not like
Can you
take one of the
intimidate
teeth?
that?
Well, he just blurted
Hey,
that
no,
out.
no, fair enough.
No, it's
Right?
done.
No one said that they were reacting. So
I love it. This is great.
It's the Leroy Jenkins.
And then when he says something, if he
Thumbs
doesn't
up,
believe me,
let's
I'll
do
take the tooth.
okay, gotcha.
That was I see
A nat 20 and an 11.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Persuasion, I think it's just 1. Yeah, 12.
12? Okay. He just kind of like looks at you and just looks at
And then as they're doing that, I reach over
and
for
you see
the
them
tooth.
like start to laugh, and then you pull out this giant tooth, and they just kind of
and then kind of like will like part ways so that Stella is
You don't want to see the other
who's
guy.
this?
This is Stella Wachter.
By the
Stella
way,
Walker's dead.
Stella Wachter is not,
Not
dead.
dead.
She
She
just
kind
has.
of like pipes up at this point, and her voice, which has been fairly timid to this point, gets a little bit more gravitas to it. Just, I am not dead, as my mother apparently would have you believe. Where is Victor? And they just kind of like, you go, no, you go.
one of you go now before I rip your goddamn head off!
Yikes.
I like it.
Dial it back about 20% there.
No, dial it up. 30.
We need to speak with
Now.
him
Stay here!
immediately.
Stay there.
Look, if there's a bathroom, this really gets me.
And one of them just like
Or
has
a
his
Peter.
spear like at the ready, like visibly shaking, just kind of like with all 6 of you there with Stella.
We are not here to hurt you.
Maybe.
We just need to talk to the Burgomaster
might be.
and
Yeah.
Victor.
Might
Get
happen.
that. He's going. Stay back, all of you.
By the way, I didn't kill this thing. Aleith did, but I wet it down real
Don't know which one to delete this, and I don't care.
Hi, it's me.
We're doing bits.
I have like the pointy teeth.
What's
I'm
your
a
name?
ventriloquist lady Fiona Walker.
Kyle.
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 I love how they all have the
need-
most like white boy names all the time.
To relax your spear.
I'll do that when he comes back. And at this point, you see him, like the guy who was going away, like was a very official quick march that gets progressively quicker and then quicker, and then he's just sprinting towards the door, and you just hear on the other side of the door just banging away, and then eventually.
This fucking guy.
Oh.
Hey, he's back.
My favorite NPC.
And then you just start to hear like some muffled conversation. Then he kind of points over at you, and then you just see like the very slow, disapproving head nod.
He's just.
And then
I just like
This
smile
guy.
so sweetly.
But at that point, his eyes go a little bit wider, and he like focuses in and sees Stella there, and then just kind of. Door gets closed behind him, and the guard is just standing there and like turns around and just be like,
I'm gonna sit down on the steps and start like picking my teeth with the giant tooth.
Oh my
Oh, so
god.
gross.
check.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
these don't have like poison,
Oh, that's-
do they?
Yeah, can I make a distance medicine check? Like that is horrible.
Oh no!
Laura stabs herself in the face
Yeah,
with a tooth.
just cut my lip open. That is a 7.
A 7.
Oh,
you, like,
dang.
pull the giant tooth. You're
You
like,
said it was a
sure.
foot and a half.
No, it's
a forearm
this.
size,
It's a
yeah.
forearm. Yeah, so you've got like this giant tooth, and you're like awkwardly trying to pick your teeth with it, and you're kind of, oh, I got something. And you just like stab your tongue a little. All of a sudden, you just feel a little bit of blood start rolling. Oh shit! And you pull the tooth back, and it's got like blood streaked on it now on the guard at this point. Just kind of like,
we're fucking insane, dude.
Believe me, young man, if we wanted to get volumes, we wouldn't have waited for Kyle to be going to do it. Or
I'm Kyle!
The other one, whatever, you all look the same to me.
Yeah!
Hey, we boomed him.
So,
clap back.
A couple of minutes go by.
Racism.
And at this point, you see the one who ran towards the door, was banging heavily on the door. He's looking a little bit skittish, kind of waiting for somebody to come out. And then eventually both double doors open, and you see the Burgomaster, Isaac, and Victor all standing there. And they're kind of discussing and looking at each other, and looking as well with his name I can never fucking remember. The guy
Charles.
Charles. Thank
Shit
you.
dick.
It is Charles.
Charles Shooter.
Charles Shit Dick the Fourth.
Esquire.
I'm too hyper right now. This is too much.
It's too much caffeine.
It might be. I made that tea really strong. It's also just very intense what's happening.
All three of them kind of standing out front, and then Charles like in front of them leading the way, and he just kind of points over, and you've seen Victor one time, very just gaunt face, kind of expressionless, look very much just like, you know, like someone that you take note of is just like a weird looking person.
He looked like a fantasy incel who didn't get enough sun, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Gamers rise up.
Killed my fucking imp.
And you see him just kind of like lower his head a little bit, and you just hear, Stella? She just kind of looks, Victor?
Oh boy.
Victor? And she tries to bolt. Are you holding her?
No, I'll let her fucking go to him.
So she just like rips herself
At least the
out of
romantic
her
at heart. I'm like,
and
be
she
free.
just starts sprinting across the ground, and the guard just kind of instinctively grabs his spear, fumbles over himself, and like falls to the ground when he goes to stop her
Fucking
as she
Kyle.
just bolts across the lawn.
Can I step on the guard just to be like, what the fuck, dude? Like one leg on him, just like.
Yeah. You're really gonna stab
He
that
just
girl?
like starts like smacking your leg away, and eventually gets back to his feet, and then like looks over at what's happening, and then Victor.
So we'll follow her.
So you see as well, Victor, the previous time that you saw him, he was dressed very formally in robes, kind of dictating what the circumstance was that he was being introduced to. In this instance, you're seeing him a little bit different. He's still in, oddly enough, robes, but they look almost like brown, almost like workers' robes, like craftsman robes of some kind. And then he's got a very tight-fitting belt, and he is a very thin person. And he breaks out into a run as well, like a hesitant one at first, and then just kind of noticing the speed that she's running at him, and then noticing more and more, kind of picks up pace, but you can see him getting kind of winded pretty quickly.
Wow.
Doesn't appear to be a very fit individual.
What a nerd.
Is there any like spills or anything notable about his robes that indicate what kind of work he'd be doing in them?
Perception check at disadvantage because you're in sunlight.
Oh, fuck's sakes. Well, at least I have bomb-ass
I'd
perception.
like to kind of see what I can discern about him outside of
Perception.
Oh, sweet. 14, 15. And my perception is 7. So my worst one is going to be 21.
21.
Nice.
6.
You're like,
Using those ones.
wait.
Take the goggles
dark.
off.
Oh no, it's not right. You just like put the goggles down and
Take
just
the goggles
just get the
off.
lens flare off the goggles. You kind of looking on. There do appear to be some stains on the robe. You're not sure quite what. It's more so on like imagine like a carpenter's vest.
Yeah.
Like carpenter's what's it called? Oh my god.
That's
Like an
a
apron.
Like a work vest?
Apron. thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Smock. Thank you. Carpenter's smock. And there do appear to be like some discolored stains and almost burn marks on it, maybe.
Okay.
As he kind of breaks out and he like
Something
takes
like-
off the smock, throws it to the
You're
ground,
just
and he's now dressed in like very nice
It will look
white
like
linen
something.
shirt and like darker pants, and then a belt still tied around those as well.
What
as he runs forward.
color were the stains?
The stains. So it's a brown robe. Some of them were a little bit darker brown, and then there were the burn marks, and you can see like white char scald marks almost on him. As he just runs forward towards her, and she literally jumps into the air, and he falls over. He like can't support her weight.
Such a nerd.
As the two of them kind of like
Buddy.
embrace on the ground, and he just kind of like looks up at her, and she looks down at him, and they just kiss.
Just
Like,
mash faces awkwardly like a couple of 16-year-olds.
It's and like tears streaming down her face and tears welling up in his eyes as he eventually gets to his feet and just kind of like holds her like to the point that she's just completely face into his chest.
We just look over at
how is the Burgomaster and Isaac reacting to this?
Curious about that as well.
Both of them just aghast, like eyes open, mouths agape, just as if they can't believe anything that they're seeing.
Can I perception check? Or can I like does that seem to be the only reaction they're having? They don't seem to be aware that she okay, yeah.
Because you guys are still, a couple hundred feet away.
Yeah, well let's walk up.
Yeah,
we'll be following up.
Yeah.
And at this point the guard is kind of like, and he's watching you, but is not interacting in any way.
So yeah, we're
Get up.
walking to join.
To follow up after Stella. Yeah.
Okay. So takes a good couple, 30 seconds or so. Eventually make your way up and you come to them and they're still just embracing each other. You can see him just kind of holding her, and then he now, like, looking up from her head, has realized that all of you have started to make your way a little bit closer. He just kind of like shuffles her over to the side, so she's just cradled into his armpit essentially.
Gross.
And the Burgomaster and Isaac have begun to jog their way down. The Burgomaster's like large tummy kind of going from side to side. And they just make their way down. And what is the meaning of all of this? Who? You said this is still a walk, though.
Yes,
it is.
Leaf.
Well, we're doing this right now. And,
I think we might as well.
What else can we do?
You guys do you.
I think we should go somewhere.
Yeah, perhaps we should
I believe inside would be the best.
Yes.
Please, come in.
Thank you.
And they make their way inside. Doors are open. Charles is there, and he's just kind of like nodding at you, Les, and at you, Leaf, and at you, Hope, and then just kind of gives a.
What's up, Chuck?
Y'all not as friendly
And
as
then
you were
you two
before.
just kind of.
I just smile really sweetly at him.
It was a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure it was. As he makes the way, or as he leads you inside, double doors closing behind you, and you're led back to the same long dining room table that you've been seated at before. This time cleared of any sort of food, drink. It's essentially just a bare table with a large centerpiece in the middle, a few fresh cut flowers.
What is?
Are there guards in here with us? I'm guessing.
There are the two guards that were stationed at the door.
The more fancy dressed ones?
Kyle and
Yeah, the ones who are in proper plate armor, proper swords at their hilts. Those ones you notice that instead of being at the exterior of the house, we're actually on the interior this time. And then they follow you to the door, and you do hear the clank of one of them posting up outside the door as it shuts behind you, and then progressive footsteps around to also cordon off the other door, so that both entrances to this
But they're
room.
not in the room, they're outside of the room
Correct,
guarding
they're
doors.
outside of the room
Okay.
guarding doors.
So it's just Isaac, the Burgomaster, and Victor in with us inside
Stella
the room.
and
And Stella.
also
Well, yeah,
Stella.
but I mean like outside of the current party.
At this point, making your way inside, kind of going through the door, your frame, already it's kind of awkward for you to walk through a door like this, and so you instinctively turn to the side and boom.
Nice.
And at this point, Lady Walker falls down to the ground off of your back.
And I'll just,
And they just kind of...
We can explain that.
We thought we'd get inside.
Some explanations will be necessary. I truly believe this. Now,
I'll just, scoop her.
I was going to say pick her up and bring her inside. Let us put her on the table and we will have a seat and discuss what has transpired.
Might want to bound her hands and her mouth.
She's
They're
already
already
bound.
Okay, good.
She's
And
fully
it's
bound, hands
really
to
nice
hands, feet
nodding
to feet,
work.
hands to feet.
Yeah,
I
we,
thought it was
we
just
didn't
mouth.
bind her mouth though because she can't cast spells without her wand, which
Wandy
Well, no,
the
you
doctor
did say
has.
that you gagged her.
Yeah, we...
Yeah, she's
Oh, we did
gagged.
gag her. Okay.
Yeah.
She's so
Yeah, her
gagged.
mouth hasn't been like bound, but
Yeah.
she's gagged.
Okay.
So gagged.
And at this point, you see her kind of like rolling a little bit, like she acknowledges the pain, but still isn't quite waking
We
up.
told her a safe word.
Pineapple.
Rumpelstiltskin.
That's a good one.
Rumple teaser.
Oh my goodness.
So making your way inside, everybody taking a seat.
Tell us all in the comments what your safe words are.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Sure. So,
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's
you're
all.
getting the safe words.
so making your way inside, the music ever present begins to play again. Seating at the table, And you can see that Stella has just grabbed a chair and is sidled right up beside Victor and is just like holding onto his arm and is just continuing to cry and then slowly begins to kind of compose herself a little bit as they just kind of intertwine their hands and are just holding.
Does he look more kind of like present and alive than we've seen him previously?
His face is very flushed. Tears have been streaming down his face. He's got slightly redder eyes, like the slightly reddish hue to his nose. And for the first time, although you've only seen him twice, he has a fairly large smile across his face. And you just keep hearing, I thought you were dead. This is a miracle. And she just kind of like continuously looking up at him and the two of them embrace again.
Yeah, we're going to tell her we need her for
All right.
We gotta kill that kid.
Well, Stella can join in with her part of the story once she's calmed down, but perhaps we should tell you what we know about what's happened.
Please, I think that would be for the best right now.
We'll just kind of drop Fiona.
Yeah, she's on the table.
She's already on the table.
She's on the table.
She's laid down on the table at this point, arms at her sides, and you can see that the cuts and the bruises are all still there, just like bleeding slightly out of a couple of the cuts still.
So in our time in this town, we've come to know Lady Fiona, and she seemed to us like she was somebody who was not working for the good of the town. We had our suspicions, and upon returning from our journey, and upon hearing that someone had threatened you and yours, we went to go see if our suspicions were true at her house. We discovered her daughter, who clearly still alive, even though she's been telling people she is dead. And we discovered Lady Fiona in the process of summoning a demon, a very large one, in order to kill the town.
You pull up the thing.
Bloodstained fan.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
my blood all over it.
She successfully summoned this demon and we destroyed it.
Gonna smell blood, kind of like.
As well as the bodies of her retinue, who it seems she sacrificed in order to summon it. As well as sundry other disturbing details in her house and evidence that perhaps she's, socially in contact with the devil himself.
And you see them kind of like exchange a glance and just kind of.
Does their glance seem like they suspected that?
Appears to be.
Okay. They don't seem surprised.
Not overly, no.
Okay.
There isn't any kind of look of kind of like, oh fuck, I'm gonna be caught out by them or Victor, is there? Like
no guilty reaction from anybody?
That's what I'm meaning. Thank
make
you.
an insight check.
I'm rolling terribly. That's an 8.
8. Tough to read.
Bad die.
Dice gel. We need a physical dice gel for the table. That would be amazing.
That would be
I mean,
great.
they're in just a complete state of shock at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily, Stella being returned. Lady Walker basically unconscious on the verge of death, laid out on their table. And then a giant demon fang being thrown onto the table as well, saying that all of you killed a demon that she summoned. There's a lot of disbelief going on in this room.
Okay. We'll give you a minute to like type it in, but everything is still as we left it in the Walker house, so if you'd like probe of what we've done.
There are still 2 of her.
There's 2
of her cohort that are unaccounted for.
Who are these 2?
Yosef, her manservant.
And she had a personal imp as well, a small one, not able to do much damage, but able to disappear at will, who theoretically could have gone to any one of her allies, including the big one, and told them what has happened.
I might have tried to break in here once even.
Yeah. Or it might have been the person or the imp that attacked Hector again after his imprisonment.
We were trying to figure out what's really happened. If you'd be open to answering some questions as much as you feel comfortable to, we'd like to figure out what's happened with Stella, and
We want to make sure she will be safe here.
I understand. Let me first put your unease at rest. You have returned
my son's love to him. After 3 years, almost 4 years, of her being thought dead, her mother insisting that she died peacefully in her sleep of an illness, we had a burial. Her gravestone is in the graveyards.
Mentally, she was gone. She was mad when we found her in the attic. But we managed to... One of our party has curative powers. We've managed to bring her back.
Fucking woman. Alright. Hold on a moment. Isaac, and you see him kind of lean in for a moment, and Isaac just kind of looks over and nods at him and gets up from the table and makes his way over to one of the doors. Door opens and you hear a quiet conversation on the other side. Just make a quick perception check for him.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So do we get like any tags?
Could I make one as well?
21.
No?
Ooh. Nice.
That's a 20, not 20, but 24.
24.
Yo.
Okay. Both of you just kind of hear "Find the Sons."
Oh, the
Oh,
Walker
shit.
Sons.
Yeah, no.
We kind of forgot about them.
Well, I was
Makes
gonna
sense.
They're fucking.
And then door
Yeah, they
closes
are
and you hear
gone.
the footsteps going away
crush
from
their
one of the doors.
doors.
Gone for about 30 seconds or so, and then they come back and then post up outside the door again. So, sitting back down. Alright. You have told me your version of this tale.
Oh god.
Lady Walker came to us 4 years ago. Told us that her daughter was taking illnesses. My son had been noticing this for some time. Random bruising, scarring on her body. As a girl for her age with a noble upbringing, these kinds of things did not make any sense. And we had requested to allow her to move in here as they were scheduled to be married when they became of age. But her mother and father were having none of this. They insisted that the girl would only be treated by their doctors in their house, but that she needed to cease conversations with the outside world until she got better. And she did not get better. We were informed of her passing. My son, and at this point you look over and Victor just kind of has composed himself a little bit, still smiling and still holding her, but just is nodding at his father. And he grieved more than anybody in this village. Seeing this woman laid out in front of me, I'm sure even more than her parents did.
My guess is you'd be right about that.
At this point, Lady Walker came out for a funeral for her daughter, and our family came out at the loss of my son's wife-to-be. We grew up as children together and barely spent more than a few days apart throughout their entire lives. Came suddenly without her. He became distant, very insistent on finding a way to bring her back.
What did they bury?
A coffin purchased from the shop, of course. But none of us looked inside. She said that the illness left gruesome markings on her face and on her body, and she did not want to remember her daughter like this. We, of course, did not object.
For what it's worth, there may have been a body in there, but it wouldn't have been Stella's. It sounds like she was far gone on the path of sacrificing animals and people at that point to summon demons.
These would be the requirements for some kind of ritual, I assume.
There were 5 bodies in the basement for her to summon what we thought.
Mm-hmm. But and Stella can maybe tell you more when she's a bit more recovered from her ordeal, but she remembers back to before she was away.
And you notice at this point, Victor interrupts and yes, that will be a conversation that we have later on. That will not be something that we discuss here right now. Father, do not ask about this yet. His father just kind of like looks over at him curiously.
Do not ask about the what?
Do not ask about this yet.
We won't be asking Stella to recover any things firsthand, but what she's already told us.
And I appreciate that. She has confided this in me as well, which is partly why I wanted to have her removed from that household. Have her brought here. But
Why don't you want these details right now, Victor?
because it does not affect the story at hand. They will come to light right now, but for the time being, let us focus on what her mother was doing.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
I don't
Her
trust
mother
this at all.
was hurting people.
Including.
Do I get the sense that Victor thinks that I'm talking about
Stella.
what Stella was doing? No. Her mother was well on her way to hurting people, to summon demons. And I make
And
eye
it's
contact
just-
with him, and I'm not trying to.
It's just a bit of a knowing, like.
Yeah, none of us are trying to undercut or to try to rat Stella out at this point.
No.
And she,
Yeah.
you can see like she's paying attention to the conversation, and listening to everything, and is kind of like, nuzzling into him a little bit, like, oh god.
Yeah, no, none of us are intending, as far as I know, to say anything about what Stella's involvement
No.
in this was. That part of it's quiet. I'm just talking about what she told us about what her mother was doing. Anyway, so, what went wrong between your families after Stella died? It sounds like, from what she's told us, things were perhaps stiff, but not to the point of death threats. Yeah.
Her mother, our understanding at least, was that her mother blamed my son, blamed our family for the unfortunate circumstances that led to her daughter's death. She blamed the amount of time that they spent together, the lack of time that she had spent at home, unable to receive the care from her family doctors.
Bullshit.
Clearly now we know that this is bullshit. But
Can I check when? I'm sorry, Stella, just asked this in front of you. When was it that Lord Walker passed away?
my father's dead.
Oh boy.
Is it time for the bit?
Nobody knows that he was dead. Everyone thought he was just sick.
Oh my god, I fucked
What are you talking about? My father's alive.
Not Lord
up.
Walker.
I mean, you haven't asked about him at all.
Pull it out of the bag.
Sorry, that was not loud. That was Amanda.
Yeah.
I want to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think he's at the
kind of.
church.
I'm like.
What are you talking about? Where is my father?
He's not here.
Not here.
Where is he? Was he buried? And he looks over, and she looks over at Isaac and at the burgomaster, and they just kind of look at her like, far as we're aware, he is alive and well.
No one had seen him in town for a while, from what I understand.
Well, no, he did not leave the household. Neither did Lady Walker. It was always their servants who came out and grabbed food. And
We don't know exactly what was going on in that house. All we can tell you is what we found today, which was his body, dead but preserved. There's no signs of decay, and he was fully clothed, and on the bed in the master bedroom, looked like somebody had been sleeping beside him.
I am so
I'm very
incredibly
sorry.
sorry. I did not mean for you to learn in this way.
She just kind of like grabs onto Victor again and just breaks completely. Like tears, snot, everything, mouth
Fuck.
open. Just
I feel like shit.
like literally biting into his shirt and shoulder, like really just in.
Do you have any kind of
pain.
magical Valium?
Oh
Because if
my
you
god.
want to bust out a spell slot for this one. So I
I'd
turned.
forgotten that it was.
I turned.
He was
It's okay.
I
It
turned
is
to
what
the
it
doctor
is.
and I go, I guess now's not the time to bring him out.
No, now's not the bit.
Now
We'll
it's
do it
not
later.
time.
We'll do it later.
this is a revelation that will, as funny as it sounds, affect everyone in this room and probably not many people outside of it. The Lord, as you had said, he had not been seen in the village for quite some time. It would not be a shock for anyone to find out that he had passed, except for, of course, his daughter.
We're very sorry, Stella.
And
And we
she's just like not even listening to anything.
I hope, it seems like he is alone in this way, but I hope that you'll allow Stella and Victor to retain their engagement and, you know, provide a loving home for her.
With her father dead and her mother soon to be, or at least in prison for the rest of her life, I mean, her lands forfeit at this point. Not forfeit, of course, she will be the heir once we find out what has happened with her son, or with her brothers. Clearly they must be complicit in this in some way.
We've not found any evidence that they were involved. To be frank, we've met them socially at the inn, and they...
But if they lived in this house, they would have known that she was there.
I don't know.
Those two boys are thick.
They are...
Dummy.
They spend a very much amount of their time... okay. They spend a lot of their time in their cups and out of the house. And
in their cucks.
God damn it, Jesse. I'm trying to keep the accent up. And Lady Fiona, she was a sly one. I mean...
Apparently more so than we thought, given the situation that we have find ourselves in now.
She will be awake soon, and perhaps we will be given the answers as to why and how.
How long until she wakes up?
We can wake her up at any time.
We can wake her up right now.
We've not questioned her yet. The last time we saw her animated, she was casting a spell to try and destroy all of us and the demon and herself. She is able to use magic. Or she was able to use a talisman that allowed her to use magic.
Where is this talisman?
It was destroyed.
Make a deception check.
I was going to say that for yes.
That's 12.
I will ask you again. Where is this talisman?
It was destroyed.
If you're not going to be honest with me after what you pulled earlier in the day, this conversation is over and you will rot in cells. Where is this talisman?
Perhaps it's still in the house then.
Would you like me to wake her?
I would like this talisman first. Produce it, or we are done here.
It's just a simple arcane focus, right?
Yeah. So it's a non-magical wand, essentially just something that allows her to focus her spellcasting through it.
Okay. But it would have been attuned to her, right?
There's no attunement. It's just an item. Yeah, it's just an item that, like, it's no different than your holy symbol, right? Then for you as a warlock, you have like a charm of some kind that you're able to cast your spells through. It's, it's just something that you take a little bit of time and you go like, cool, this is what I use to cast spells now.
Oh, I see. So it's not something like distinctly attuned to her.
No, not at all. It's
it's
or like a magic
non-magical. It's literally just a piece of wood.
Oh, okay.
But it's something that she has decided to be the thing that allows her to cast spells.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take her theoretically to attune to something else?
The frosted tip hair.
It takes, I think
it's a short rest. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a short rest.
Can it be any item, or does it have to be like
it has to be usually a specific type of item. Like typically, it's got some kind of arcane connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure she can't just be like, and this other piece of wood. Now I can cast spells from this.
Yeah, whatever. I'll hand it over. Who cares?
So you produce the wand, and he just kind of like looks at it and just sets it on the table, and he pulls out a small dagger from his belt and just kind of like brings it over to him and rolls it on the table a little bit, and then just looking at her and looking at her daughter, just completely at wreck at this point. Just digs the dagger in a little bit more and cuts through it until it eventually splits into two pieces. But it's good enough.
Shall I wake her?
I do not know if we are ready for this conversation yet.
Perhaps
These
Victor
are,
and Stella should.
I believe, allowing her daughter some respite. I assume he looks over at her and he can see like the sallow, gaunt sides of her face, and as much as she's had a little bit of food in the last little while, clearly hasn't been fed in a while, and he can notice that. And so he just, for the time being, Isaac, turn to her. And Isaac stands up from his chair, and Lady walks the way that she's like awkwardly on the table because her arms are bound together behind her back, her feet are bound together, and her arms are bound to her feet.
and then so she's kind of like full on like backwards facing bridge kind of thing with the gag around her mouth.
Thanksgiving.
Isaac just comes around to her and just finds a way to like literally prop her like on her knees kind of thing with her head slumped forward, kind of more child's pose, I guess.
Yeah.
On the ground at the edge of the table, and then just has a sword that he just kind of holds in front of her, and he just stands there unmoving. We will allow the children a chance to discuss what has transpired.
They're not talking about it.
And from here, I do not exactly know where we go, but your claims of a demon, obviously with this tooth, as much as we would like to believe it, we need some kind of first-hand account. We will send people over to the Walker house. Where is it? You said this summoning took place in the basement?
The basement.
In a secret room in the basement.
The door's open though.
The door is open.
The door of the mansion is locked.
That is fine. We will be able to gain entrance. You said there is nobody else in the mansion. All of her
That
servants
we
are there.
found. When we left, as I said, she may have further people than we know of on the outside.
Did she mention anything of additional?
We were not able to talk to her.
She was mid-summon.
Stella's information is 3 or 4 years out of date. So hopefully you'll find what we left. If not, you'll have to rely on our testimonials and Stella's, because while she may not have been down there with us, she could feel the rumbling, hear the noises of the battle.
I understand. All right.
I will mention that her manservant seems very intent on covering up her actions.
Her manservant?
Yosef.
Who is Yosef?
He's her man about town. He's the one who put us in contact with her. He...
I do not know this name, and he turns to Isaac, and Isaac just kind of...
It appears to me that the town...
What did this man look like?
Okay, I describe Yosef.
Okay, so describing him, he's fairly tall, medium build, kind of just like a general unassuming guy.
Yeah. He was
Mr.
at the celebration of the Blazing Sun.
He was at the festival of the Blazing Sun.
He was. He approached me after the archery contest that I won, wanting to put myself in our group that I won, wanting to put myself in my group in touch with Lady Wachter.
Very strange, because the Wachter servants, it was always assorted people, but we knew all of their names. Anytime they needed anything, they always paid in coin, and everybody knew that things had to be done a certain way. But my understanding, there was never a man named Yosef who came around to the village.
I think that this is the man that did all of the unseedy requests that she might have had. It seems like he was her secret.
Wait, hold on.
Or it's quite possible.
Wait.
How do you spell Yosef?
It's Josef, I think, right?
Y-O.
Y-O.
Oh my
yeah.
god. I'm trying to figure out if Mephisto.
I mean, it's quite possible that she had people who had ability to change their faces. Or that someone else with powers was with her. We can't really tell you for sure. But he, as well as the other servants that she had markings on their face that were disguised, but present. Scars of symbols cut into their skin.
Scarification.
Aye.
Alright. Another piece to an seemingly never-ending puzzle. This is a lot of information for you to simply drop in our laps, and there will need to be verifications done of all this. You will be kept here under escort. Food, drink will be provided, comforts of course, but until any of this can be verified, I do not even know what to say at this point.
Well,
Why are we being kept here?
Because a noble woman has been dropped on the table for me unconscious. A story has been laid that is only being recounted by her daughter that died 3 years ago, that we have buried in the ground.
This is a lot of information and a lot of things that should not be possible.
For what it's worth, when she summoned that demon, she told it to burn everything in this town down. So you may not believe us, but we've just saved your town from being destroyed.
Make persuasion check.
Persuasion?
You got this.
Fucking
You got this.
-1
Believe in
charisma
you.
score.
It's a natural 20.
3, so actually 2.
He just kind of like looks at you and once this demon's body is verified, then we can continue this conversation. But for now, recover, all of you. Obviously you have been hurt in assorted ways, and he's noticing the scar, the cuts and the bruises.
Yeah, like we're not looking in good states.
We're all dead. Should
But
see the other
we
guy.
should recuperate while we complete our investigation. Perhaps stay for the afternoon into the evening, and we'll have a conversation after a dinner.
We'd be happy to stay if it'll put your mind at ease, but
It
we
would.
would prefer to be here for Lady Walker's questioning as a courtesy to yourself and to... We've brought her here without waking
I
her up.
understand, and I agree. Given the fact that if this is all true, you have seen her summon this demon. You know what she looked like, what she was doing, and the rest of us have not seen her in quite some time. It would be only logical for you to be here to speak to what you had seen, and for us to gauge her reactions accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
wish to ensure the safety of everyone within this town from the devil.
And we appreciate this. Now, this room will be where you will be kept under watch. We will bring in any kind of comforts that you require. Chairs, couches, anything that you would need to sleep if you require pillows, blankets. But this will be where you stay for the afternoon. And we will come in again this evening for dinner. And then we will have a discussion this evening.
Barrel of water, raw fish.
Both of which easily attained.
Will anyone else be joining us at dinner?
At dinner?
Irina and Ismark.
No, they will be kept out of this completely. We have no interest in bringing more people into these things that were happening inside our town right under our noses.
Will you please send them our regards when you speak to them?
Of course. But for now, rest. We will talk later. And he and Isaac get up, and Lady Walker is kept in the corner, and one of the guards is escorted inside, and is essentially seated behind her with a blade across her throat.
Can I ask, what was Isaac's kind of reaction to us and to the Burgomaster's treatment of us throughout that kind of conversation?
What do you mean?
Like, did he seem like he was having any personal reaction or like to how we were being treated? To
no.
Okay.
Not really. So
what did he? Sorry, one more follow-up question.
Yeah.
Did Isaac have any reaction to the mention of Irina?
No.
Oh yeah, the fucking doll room.
Yeah, the fucking doll room.
If it was him.
Yeah.
You know,
so many questions
no one
right
knows
now.
this manservant either.
So are we short resting right now?
Essentially, you
Yeah.
have the equivalent of several short rests. Anything that you would like to do, any items that you would like to attune to.
Let me hit.
Do we have
hit die, please.
attune items?
No, but if there's anything that you have that you're curious
Okay.
on reattuning to, depending on what the situation will be later.
I'm gonna.
So we're not allowed to like go for like a accompanied walk in town. Okay, just
You're
checking.
not allowed to leave the room.
Just checking.
Nope.
I'm gonna use 2 hit die.
So
Yeah.
when they search the house, they're going to not find a dead body
We don't know this.
that we.
We don't know this.
No, because we
No, I know.
have it. We never said we didn't take it. They might not find the demon, and that might have been taken by someone else.
That's
We
what I- yeah.
irrefutably-
No, but, like,
But they
we
never
told
told
them-
us they did this.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
No,
we
I
don't know
know.
this. Yeah.
Right.
we
Yeah.
irrefutably.
You, Amanda, know.
Allura does
Allura's
not.
just
Allura
like,
does not
yeah,
know.
this is fine. They're gonna find the dead guy upstairs.
Yeah. Oh,
They're gonna find the demon in the basement. The 5 bodies around it.
We never
yeah,
told
it's all
them.
good.
We never told them where the dead guy was, though, right? We told them.
No.
that he was
I
dead.
straight up
We
told
said that he was
them.
Oh,
dead.
that's
No, you
right.
did. You
Master
said it was in the
bedroom.
master
Master
bedroom,
bedroom, and then
and
somebody
that
sleeping
someone
beside
has
him.
been sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that occurs to me, friends, is the Burgomaster has been very good at keeping the town peaceful by silencing things that might cause trouble in the town, and we just agreed to just post up in his house.
I mean, he's not going to murder us and Stella as well.
I think he might murder us. He might try.
I don't know.
He can try.
They will throw a dead body at him.
That's kind of the thought, yeah. Oh wait,
No.
what do you know about it?
I mean,
Shut up.
They
I
know
think
how
it would be
powerful
a
we
big
are.
cover up because Danica, Irina, Ismark, Stella.
Yeah.
There's like
Just
too many
the whole-
people who would.
He doesn't know
Yeah.
anything about
questions.
Danica, though.
No.
I mean, if he's
All
on
he knows
Yeah.
is
They know that we're powerful, though. They
Yeah.
wouldn't try to fight us.
Are
we
we
just
just
even
having-
said they want to keep Irina
we just
Ismark
told
out
them
of
that
it.
we killed a big fucking demon.
For
like,
what
would they
it's
really
worth.
want to go up against us?
Yeah.
Just
They might.
headcanon here. We're all sitting cross-legged in a circle.
Yeah, there's a
Having
table
this
with chairs, but we're on the floor.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of us.
Is this-
Underneath the table.
We're
Is
like
this like-
crisscross
Sitting
applesauce
in, like,
having
the
a fort.
most like super
Blankets,
gay,
pillows,
not sitting
you
on
theoretically could
a
have made a
seat.
blanket fort.
Yeah.
We need a pillow for
It's
it.
canon. We did it.
Jordy, is
Yep.
this like short resty?
Short rest.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
anybody who wants to roll hit dice if you want to regain back.
I just want my spells back.
I want to hit dice.
Spells, abilities, anything you want. This is essentially.
I don't
the
get to
equivalent of
regain spells,
No.
do I?
No,
No,
just for
only
that.
the doctor.
We
that.
asked this
Yeah,
every
Leaf,
time.
if you wanted to use any of the incense for the thing to regain spell slots,
I might do that.
it's a cool item.
Does anybody want
fuck's sakes.
more
That
cucumber
thing's
and more
100%
lettuce?
homebrew, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, like that.
Like
was,
100% homebrew you?
Yeah, me. Like I was
I have
looking
another
for something because
soda.
that was the biggest issue in our old campaign is we had
Yeah.
a cleric who was just like brutalized that if he picked the wrong spells for the day he was fucked. And so I was like, yeah, screw it. Here's something that's twofold.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You
so
do
hit
more?
dice, anything
Yeah.
you wanted for that.
Yeah.
I might
It's
do
better.
one more hit die, so that would mean free hit die that I've used.
Sweet. I used those hit dice to.
Jordy, I just have to give a friggin' amazing thank you for my sharpened knives.
I just think it's a really good idea if we don't let our guard down.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say
agreed.
we can post a guard.
It's so good.
I'm
I think whilst we're like to say that we are kind of
Yeah.
speaking quietly and without kind of alluding to anyone too much.
Yeah.
Because additionally,
thing.
we're leaving town with Irina and Ismark.
I mean, that was the plan, but I think it's all dependent on what's going on. Anyway, Jordy,
All right.
just during the short rest as well, we would all have been like always have had sort of like somebody who was paying attention. Like Alith would have really been on her guard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any sign that people are trying to fuck with
during
us.
several short rests, surely Lady Walker would have woken up during this time.
So this is the thing: is this is all happening during your first short rest. All of your hit dice are being restored, all of your spells and everything. During the second hour, nothing really transpires. You have your conversations. Food is brought in, assorted sampling plates, dried cured meats, lots of vegetables, raw fish is requested. A large water barrel is just full, and there's 4 servants that are kind of bringing it in through awkwardly.
That's right, boys. Right over here.
And then it just kind of gets placed in one of the corners, and you're able to just.
Okay, I wanna.
Like an Olympic diver, like
No
super high
splash.
dive, and then just a little right out the water.
Yeah, I just want to calmly to the group, like, let them know about Mr. Walker.
About our bit.
Yeah, about Daddy Walker. So, like, if this is
Mm-hmm.
so this isn't a surprise to anyone.
Okay.
But it's in front of the god.
I would not talk about that in front of the guard.
No.
No. okay.
Unless you can somehow
That's
do
what
it
I'm saying,
through
I thought-
code.
So we were having the conversation that we can beat the shit out of everyone in front of
I
us.
can do it through code.
But
You
not
can,
to the
but
rest
no one
of
else will
us.
understand.
Oh, fuck you all.
Fuck it all.
Hey guys, did anyone see that play in town? Weekend at Bernie's?
Okay, I'm gonna reach into the bag of holding.
Yeah, yeah.
And
God.
You
who's
need to remember, you've made a blanket
Oh,
for it,
fuck,
so you're
we're-
under the table,
Under-
like completely covered,
Okay,
basically.
okay, quietly.
Yeah.
Toy Story 1 style.
It's on you, buddy.
I'm gonna reach in
Yep.
and grab the hand and wait, just say, put him back in.
So, reactions. Reaction.
What did you guys do?
Oh yeah, you're not even there.
Oh yeah. It's just like slack-jawed, like,
Yeah.
no voice coming out, just like,
Okay.
fuck.
So,
What the fuck were you thinking?
so this is happening during the second short rest.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to do anything with this knowledge?
What can we do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mean like would any of us want to go to the burgomaster with it?
Yeah. Like it's up to you to discuss it, figure out if this is just something that everyone's okay with and that's how it's going,
I'm
or
gonna.
Well, like, what are we gonna fucking do?
I just want to let you know I did this all with good intentions. What was happening in there was not natural. I think he deserves a natural resting place.
I agree with Lee.
Why didn't we bring this up after Stella left to the burgomaster?
Huh? But no one asked me.
We could have told him that
We
we had the
didn't
body
know
with us.
you had the dad in the bed.
Guys,
They're really
let's not
nervous.
judge Leaf about this.
They're really nervous in
Can
this.
I,
Leaf
like,
was
kind
doing
of
his best.
peek out of the blanket fort to see if Fiona has woken up and how much.
she's starting to stir a little bit, and you can see that the blade that's being pressed against her neck has kind of gotten an indentation at this point.
And how is
guard
the
looks in.
guard? Is the guard paying?
Guard looks stable.
Is he paying much attention?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I
And
just
you like peek your head out, and he just kind of like is looking directly at you with the blade there, and she starts to move, and his hand just kind of grips a little bit tighter against her neck.
do you want some assistance with this one?
I'll be fine. So every once in a while, a little bit of
Okay, so
Surprise
I
attack,
retreat
motherfucker.
back in, and I'm like, I think she's close to waking up. I think what you did was not good, and I
Sorry,
think you
Emma.
need to figure out a way of.
We need to figure out how to.
Well, I'm confused why I thought
I screwed up.
Out.
And then
I agree with Leaf. This man deserves a proper burial.
I agree
His
with
wife
that.
is going to be tortured to death for the rest of her life. We might as well make sure that the husband is put at rest.
Well, they gave
I think
Stella-
Steve gave away
when
too
they
much.
thought she had died a proper burial.
What's to say that they won't give him a proper burial?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is we can do that. We can maybe... How long has it been? 2 hours?
2.5 by this point. Took you about half an hour to get there.
How far is the church?
Church from here, 20-minute walk, 30-minute walk.
We can't.
Who's up for some real antics? Toy Story 2
I
style.
do not think we should try and sneak out of here right now.
Yeah, with the. We can disguise ourselves.
The traffic cones crossing the street.
No, I don't. I feel at this point.
Leaf, I think we need to talk about this separately.
More than happy to.
Leaf, this was your idea, and I support you in your
Scoot
decisions.
to the other end of the table for it.
Why is everyone upset about this? I think.
I'm not, I think it was a great idea.
I'm asleep.
Okay, asleep under the water. All of you at this point would start to notice a very slight, like moaning sound coming from outside, like a painful moan coming from the corner of the room.
I like that you have to. Because of how many times we've asked what kind of moan it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
I mean,
It's a painful moan.
Is it a painful moan? Is it an aroused?
And then you just hear a
Painful
loud,
in the
heavy
right ways.
footfall, just a thump on the ground, and the door key starts turning in the lock. Door opens, and then a brief conversation between the two guards, essentially saying that she's waking up and to get Isaac. And then about a minute or so later, footfall's coming back again, and Isaac walking into the room.
I'm like hearing the stirrings again. I popped out of the blanket fort, and I'm just like.
And she at this point is looking groggy, and then just kind of like blinking open her eyes a little bit, and then noticing the gag and noticing that her arms are tied behind her back, and then like looking around the room and sees you poking up from under the bed sheet, and just kind of. And like tries to turn her head, and then realizes the sword blade that's digging in there as it cuts her slightly in the middle of the blood around her neck. And she just kind of like goes back into that position, and then just kind of pulls her head back, throws her head forward against the blade, and tries to cut her own head off.
Yo!
Can I try and
She's so
reflex
metal.
that?
No, you guys are way away. She's in the corner, Like with a blade hold up.
Like,
against
I'm-
her neck.
You're gonna make me waste
No, yeah,
this
you're
spell
under the
here.
table.
I can Misty Step.
Yeah, well, she has the action to do stuff first.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got
it's like
the
she has a
surprise round.
surprise
Yeah,
round.
that is more than enough.
This bitch.
She is going to go and take full damage from that. Yeah,
Like she's
she's
gonna,
at 0.
Yeah.
She so after 3 hours she goes to 1 hit point.
Yeah.
So she throws her head onto the blade, and the blade at this point drives into her neck, and you can see her like realizing it, and then just kind of pushing further forward, and the blade starts to go like more than halfway through her neck as her head begins to loll off to one side.
Jesus
And the guard, like
Christ.
not sure exactly what to do, just releases the blade that's now just like held upright in her neck.
Okay, probably knocking the. Well, would
So
we?
you would have screamed at this.
Yeah,
point. That's
I would
going
have
on.
yelped and like being like, "Fuck!"
Probably the table. I'm gonna guess like I'm
Yeah.
not even fully under it, so I'll stand up. I'm gonna guess I'm bringing the table. in.
Yeah.
You just hear, you hit the top of the table,
yeah.
and it weighs like a good 300 pounds.
Hey, well,
so you're just kind of like, boom.
As it turns out, I can lift things larger than myself.
You can. So
Yeah.
your back lifts the table up. Your blanket forward doesn't fall cascading off to the side.
and I'm like,
She's now visible, propped up, seated with
Christ.
a blade
I'm
halfway through her
pushing
neck as
towards
her
her.
eyes are open, just
Dude
like
over and
beginning to
cast
roll, and
spare
the head
the.
is starting to like separate
Yeah,
slowly.
yeah.
Jesus
I cast-
fucking
I cast
Christ.
spare the dying and.
So you run over and cast Spare the Dying. She's got a neck through her head. That is beyond.
Oh,
Spare the Dying.
that's beyond like 0 hit
Yeah.
That's the one where you get to talk to the dead.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna be casting if this doesn't work.
is there any way that I can like
Uh,
increase her HP? No.
Well, we want to.
Her head is basically severed at this point. Short
Well,
of a revivification spell.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we
knew
should
a guy
waste a
who
bit
could
of
do
it.
that.
I also think maybe they don't need to know that Leaf can do that.
That's also true.
So all of you just
Yeah, I
kind
want
of
to get out of here. I
underneath
want
are in shock and.
I kind of rush over to try and save her,
And the
but
guard
I
at this
just
point is like stood
Yeah.
up and like stepped away from her completely.
I look at the
I
guard
give
and
him
I
and
say,
just started banging on the door. To
"What
get
did you
someone in here.
do?"
I give him the biggest boy hand.
Yeah.
I was told to keep her neck to prevent her from leaving.
Well, you did.
I'm
This
like
is not my
trying to
fault.
like stop the bleeding, and
It's kinda your
it's
fault,
just not
buddy.
doing anything.
Yeah, you're literally like short of pulling the sword out through the front of her neck.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
I'm still in the barrel
Is she
sleep.
still somewhat
Barrel-
conscious? Like,
Oh, she's
or-
Oh
dead.
no, she's out.
She's
I'm gonna,
gone.
like-
Yeah, she threw her neck onto the blade, realized it didn't go far enough in, and then pushed it further, and then just
Nice.
eyes rolled into the back of her head as blood just started gouting out
Can
of
I,
her. The floor, her clothes, him, anyone in the area is just covered in blood.
Okay,
at
I'm
this
gonna
point.
turn to Hope and say, should I be the one to tell Stella about this one?
I'm a high five,
I'm
Leaf.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Leaf. Yeah.
I think we let Victor do that.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna pop over to Les's barrel and just like poke him under the water.
You just feel the prods.
Get up.
Hi.
Oh, for the love of God, who
I had to
killed
go- I had
this
to go
one
for it.
now?
It was the guard.
Oh, that's so awful.
It wasn't the guard, it was her.
She did this to
She
herself.
killed herself?
Yeah, you
That's
didn't,
even worse.
you didn't do it, buddy.
Do we not think that that's sort of telling that that's what she did?
could've been
Is
this one,
anyone coming yet?
Oh yeah, at this point, with the doctor waking Les up, Isaac is making his way back inside.
Okay,
the
for the
room at
record,
this
we
point.
are all farther away from the body.
Oh,
just
that's
so
why
it's
I'm
like,
over at the
it's
barrel.
clear
Should
that
we
like
dump the guy over
he
there?
did the guard.
Yeah, he's still trying, kind of like and failing, but just trying to do something.
He had it the whole time, and then killed us and walked.
At this point, the guard has Isaac has come into the room. The burgomaster has been called into the room. He sees this and just like leans over one of the tables and just vomits onto the ground
Gross.
at the sight of it.
It's amateur hour. Come on.
And I'm like, I watched her wake up and do it to herself.
And the guard just, she did it to herself. She did it to herself. It was no one in this room. It was not me. It was my blade. But I was doing as you instructed, sir. And he points at Isaac and it's just, it's fine. Just calm down. Calm down.
Leif, do you have? Can we talk to her?
Yeah, I got something if we want to have this conversation.
If you want to hear what she has to say, now is the fucking time.
She doesn't have to respond though.
She actually does.
I think she has to respond. She just doesn't have to tell the truth.
Yeah. She can. I think it can be as like cryptic as she wants. Which is
Spare the Dying.
This is Speak of Dead. Which I did actually have prepared. Fun fact.
Yay!
You knew this was gonna happen.
I wasn't sure at what state we were gonna find. We actually had it prepped for the dad.
The dad.
Up to 5
Good
questions.
news.
Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. Corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful.
Oh, okay, no compulsion.
If you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, we
can't
should
learn new
leave the
information. Doesn't
room.
comprehend anything that's happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events.
That's fine though. We can do what she has to say.
But should we not be in the room? Because what if she just sees us and be like, "Oh, you're all like assholes"?
He's the one who has to ask the questions, so she's gonna recognize him.
But she still has to speak to him. She just doesn't have to tell him the truth.
Because that's useful.
I mean, no, but I mean, it is useful to.
Where do you come from? The clouds of lands and mines and puppies.
I think she's gone, guys.
Well, no, she can't lie. She just can't be compelled to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
Oh, so we can't use magical means to ensure she tells
Yeah,
us.
so she
Right.
will
Okay.
just give like cryptic.
Yeah, just as a fun fact way of like around this kind of thing that I've seen used in previous ones is when Speak with Dead is cast, the user has disguised self on them to turn them into a trusted ally.
And we know someone.
Hey,
that's okay.
So you're the one who can cast it, but no one can cast disguised self on you.
That's okay, because I can cast disguise self on myself.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, he
There you
can.
go. Well, shit.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I was actually.
He was already doing
You're
it.
like,
we were just
damn
talking
it!
about
I knew this.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm actually kind of rattled that the idea wasn't from.
What about Yosef? You could, you could play Strahd.
We've got options.
So,
Are
we
we?
got some time. Everybody in the room at this point, and the Burgomaster just kind of in disbelief, like sitting down, like studying himself, and he's just gone white. You can see the blood is draining from his face, like he's not used to seeing death this close.
Does the spell have to happen soon after whoever it is dead, or?
I think the sooner the better.
Okay,
so we're
so
gonna
perhaps-
want to rush this along.
Yeah.
I've seen it done before. We get 5 questions. They don't have to be truthful.
And the Burgomaster's just kind of like in shock, but Isaac just looks at him and just kind of, may I have some input on this?
Yes, you might.
Is Yosef. Who was he?
And was he disguised as someone else, or was he somebody else disguised as
I
Yosef?
assume would be a second question.
Yeah.
Leaf, you would know that. That would be yes.
Leaf, who are you going to present yourself as in order to gain her trust?
Probably gonna say her husband. Have a pretty good idea what that guy
But
looks like.
she knows that he's dead.
Well, I think perhaps it should be, you know who.
You could do that
I
too.
think that's maybe our only option. But would he know the answers to these questions that we're asking?
Totally.
I mean,
so would that?
We don't know, but time is of the essence.
What about
Maybe one of the
Stella?
brothers?
Strategizing for a few minutes
Yeah.
isn't going
What
to
about Stella? If he acted like he was her,
How about the brothers?
she's not going to tell them anything.
Yeah,
Alive or dead.
Stella
They're
was
idiots.
locked in a room for 3-4 years.
Okay, I think our best bet is whether or not he would have known the answers is to be the devil. We know she was in league with him, or to be Yosef. But then we can't ask about him.
Who am I?
Alright, just pick a body.
Diaz, and I'm directing this question to Isaac and the Burgomaster. Is there anything that you'd like us to ask that's going to help you understand that, or is going to help clarify what's happened here today to you, to get us out from underneath any suspicion?
This was going to wait until after dinner. Just don't worry at this point. Your story matches what we found in this house. The conversations that my son has had with Stella, she has told us what happened when all of you came inside the house and you freed her from this madness that she had apparently been put under. Just do not worry about your own fates at this point.
Where to
Alright.
go?
We just want to find out the truth. Find out if she is the one. Was she involved in any way with the vampire spawn coming into the village? That would be incredibly useful.
That's the only thing we need to know.
But
I was gonna say.
hold on, real quick. We already know she wasn't involved.
How do you know?
No,
We had that
don't.
conversation with Heinrich.
With Henrik?
He
Yeah.
was lying.
Henrik? No, he wasn't.
No, he told us about how Strahd.
He arranged for the vampire spawn to be brought into
Yeah.
the village.
Yeah.
So
We
don't
don't
know how-
have.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
have no. There's.
she
Right.
could have been
She-
involved
yeah.
in that for sure.
She very,
Okay.
very likely was involved. I think that the person who was like speaking, who was like liaisoning with Henrik was Yosef.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Wasn't that just
Was it
Strahd?
called?
Yeah, I was gonna say, could Joseph not just have been Strahd in disguise the whole time?
Well, tip top. This thing is god time
Yeah, okay.
sensitive. All right.
All right. So, two more
Yeah,
questions.
not really. I'm just
It's
doing
not
this
really
to
time
speed.
sensitive.
I'm just doing
It
this to speed
sounded
shit
as if-
up.
That's
You know?
fair.
Yeah,
Speed run it.
but let's not. Yeah, we don't want to fucking debate this shit forever. Okay,
no, I'm
so
doing
we
this
have
for-
It
questions.
just
Who?
has to still have a mouth.
Yeah. She's
Great.
actually got a second one at this point.
God!
All right.
Oh, that scene in
Cool.
Sin City.
She's Nelly had this Nick.
I tried to tell you.
There we go. Much better. She's Nelly Headless Nick. Nelly Headless Grandma.
Okay. So,
Okay, so who is Yosef? Was he disguised in some way? His appearance disguised? Was she involved in the vampire spawn being brought into Valaki?
Where's your imp?
Yeah. Where's Mephisto?
Where's-
Or where did
How
you
many
send?
questions
Where
is
was he
this?
sent?
5.
Yeah.
This is number 4. Where did you send Mephisto?
Should we ask her why she did this to Stella?
No, because her
we know.
Mephisto would have been like non-existent now that she's dead.
Does
She
Rick
wouldn't be
disappear when
bound
you
her.
die?
Yeah, he wouldn't be bound.
You just
So
summon
she
him
wouldn't
and he
know
does.
if
How
he's...
did-
If the
right.
doctor dies, Rick is still around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really,
So she
what's
sent him
Oh, you just
somewhere.
can't escape from
That's why it's an issue.
Yeah.
Like, what's your imp's escape plan?
Well, no, or like where she sent him. He was invisible. She sent him away before she cast
Yes.
Fireball. So we need to find out where she sent him.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question, I guess. What's Strahd's plan
Do you have
for
any red
Valaki?
dresses?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. Anything in a
So
medium?
now that we've got your fresh body, how do you feel about being repurposed into something else? We know a guy.
Hey. Okay, so I've got 5 questions here. I
Okay.
have the who's Yosef? Who was he disguised as someone else?
Mhm.
Was she involved with the vampire spawn in Barovia?
Or-
In Valaki?
Yeah, bringing them in.
And where did you send Mephisto?
Those are 4 questions.
I
we-
got
we have one more.
2, 3, 4. Yes, sir.
Do we need a 5th?
I think.
Well,
I think we should.
Yeah, we should use it.
Yeah, but that's all the information we need.
Is
No,
Maybe
but
we can
what-
ask her. I got an idea. If Strahd can come into Valaki or not.
Oh, good question.
Can
That's a good one to have our friends here learn
yeah.
that they're not
There are
what they're
friends
doing
still, but
is
you do you.
not.
Well, it's good for us to know too. Do we
Yeah.
leave Irina here or not?
I don't think we leave her here anyway.
So we say can or how can?
Can.
Can?
Simple answer.
Well, they think that he can't, right? They think it's.
Oh,
Protected.
so we just need to sort of say
Yeah.
What was the rest of this prophecy?
So if I just okay,
Find the
good.
girl driven to insanity.
We found
Curing
it.
madness is the key. Locked in the heart of her dead father's house. What else was around this? And I
She
don't
will
know.
be the key to his downfall, I think. Okay, I have it here.
So this is kind of a challenge because I'm either gonna look like Yosef or Strahd.
One who will
Right.
help in the
We
battle
are
of
asking
darkness.
Questions about people.
Find a
Both
girl
of them.
driven to insanity, locked in the heart of her dead father's house. Curing her madness will help in your quest against darkness. So she's one who will help. She or somebody associated with her is one who will help in the battle of darkness. So
Well, it's
maybe
probably her, right?
it's her or Victor, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, those
go
are our
for
five
it.
Anything
questions.
else that we would be useful for us to know? Is there anything,
I mean,
any secrets she knew that we
Well, those are our 5 questions.
we could ask her where her
have we got?
But
We
we-
haven't got number
mantle
5.
is. Yeah, we did. We said,
Strahd
can
onto
Strahd
Valaki.
come into
can't-
Valaki?
Oh,
We can't ask a question as Strahd about Strahd or as Yosef about Yosef.
I
So
guess
we
that's
can't
the
ask
thing.
the
Makes it
last
weird.
question.
No, so we
could
could
ask
say,
her where the mantle is.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
yeah.
ask her where the mantle is.
Yeah, let's do that. Because Strahd can
She can also
clearly.
not
Yeah.
answer.
It would have been just nice to prove that to the burgomaster.
Can you stack a zone of truth on a Speak with Dead?
Probably
No,
not.
She
because
can't be
that's
compelled to speak
no,
truth.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No, it's that she doesn't have to, but I think Zone of Truth, if I'm not mistaken, is alive creatures.
Oh, fair enough.
Double
That would make sense.
checking.
I don't even know if I have enough spell slots for that anyways.
I have Zone of Truth.
A creature. She is a dead person, is no longer a creature.
Cool. Just checking.
Okay. I mean, we're just gonna have to see what happens when you pretend to be Strahd.
So sorry, it was where did you keep your? Where did you?
Where
hide
did you-
Where did you put your mantle?
Yeah. Where'd you hide
Or
it?
where is your mantle?
Yeah, where is your mantle?
Yeah.
Your magical mantle.
Yeah.
We,
Is there anything else we need to know?
Likely, wherever it is, there's gonna be answers for other questions as well.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Are we all happy with these? I realize
I'm
Evan
happy.
is in the bathroom.
Yes, but
I think
he's,
it's good.
He's also hasn't been paying attention as less.
Canonically in a bathtub right now.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah, it's fine.
He
Okay.
stood up
I'm
at
not
it.
at the bathtub now.
He
Okay,
stood up
are
and
you-
then was like, "What
just
the
to
fuck?"
reiterate.
When she came out, I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Are you okay with these questions that
Yeah,
we're
I
just
don't-
gonna quickly?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
my
That's
point.
kind of what I figured.
Solid.
Okay, let's go.
Just wanted to check.
No, I know.
Chop chop.
So,
I'm just
Okay.
saying that in character.
So I'm gonna kind of turn to the crowd and say, "Hey, no one panic, all right?" And then I'm gonna turn into disguise self as Strahd.
and you just see the guard instinctively reach for the sword that isn't there, and then look over at her and just kind of
Yeah, that's where it is, buddy.
Yeah.
puts his hands at his sides, and like Isaac and the burglar like take a step back
Yeah.
in surprise, but then just kind of calm themselves and steady themselves a little bit as the
Yeah.
visage of you shifts, and the gaunt cheekbones and the long elongated fangs and fingernails and kind of grotesque arms almost.
I'm gonna suggest that all of us step back
Yes.
to be behind her
Actually,
line of
just a
sight.
question to outside of this. Would they actually know what Strahd looked like before this?
Yeah,
So they've
They
seen
did.
It's
him?
on the money.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The queen.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. That was so sassy.
On the fucking money.
On the money!
Sorry, my yeah was pretty sassy too, because I'm like,
Yeah.
like he's been
Yeah.
around, like.
I don't know, like if they've spent time with him.
No, I don't
There's-
think they
there's
haven't.
pictures
But
of him in books.
Yeah.
There's portraits
Okay,
of
They
him.
go for
okay.
walks
He's on
every weekend.
money.
Thousands and thousands and
Yeah,
I just
over
wanted to be like,
There's-
no, I actually
is there
haven't
any
thought to.
recognition kind of?
Yeah.
Well, not like, but like knowing recognition, like I know this guy rather than I know of this guy.
Oh, you want to see if like they've
Oh.
seen him firsthand?
No.
Isaac instinctively
Okay.
goes to hold his hand.
Then I'll turn to everyone and say, "What? No."
Good bit.
Hello, child.
I am the vampire.
Whoa,
I am Count
Meg.
Stradula.
It's me. I'm a big
I am
fucking
Count
nerd.
Celestial.
That was me.
Oh,
I don't
no,
know you.
Strahd.
Mamma mia.
I'm gonna go pee.
So,
It really gets.
as Strahd,
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's
I'll,
okay. I'm not affected. I'm sorry for cracking.
I will cast Speak with Dead on
speak with that on Lady Walker.
Lady Walker. Yeah.
We are all behind her corpse's line of sight at this point.
Her head at this point
Hiding.
has lulled backwards, like the flesh like starting to separate slightly, with the sword still embedded in the neck.
Good lord.
And as you finish the spell, the head just kind of like and like this disgusting sucking sound as
It's
the
like
last of
air.
the blood that's in her mouth like pours out of the front of
Nice.
her mouth. Her head lulling forward and kind of like back onto its neck again, but slightly lopsided. So her neck is in one direction and her head is in another. As the jaw opens, it just what are your questions?
Fiona.
Oh yes. Some Jesse saw Shaw Strahd RP. I'm so excited.
I'm trying to do the like a character RPing a character.
That's
That's
fair.
not gonna work. I'm not Mel Blanc.
I'm a guy with an accent doing an accent of another guy.
Oh. Fiona, who was Yosef?
And she just kind of like looks at you quizzically. You
I called it. Called it.
Gotta go all like there's one and two.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
That gives us one more question, actually.
That does.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm gonna be the one to come up with that.
Yeah.
You're just testing her. It's fine.
Fiona, who was involved bringing the vampire spawn into Vallaki?
Same answer.
Us to facilitate. You asked us to facilitate.
What do Isaac and the Burgomaster?
What do you?
No.
Yeah.
I'm asking,
Yeah,
what they're,
responding.
what they're. I'm
Oh,
not
what
asking the
they're-
corpse. I'm asking. Alith is watching this, but she's also watching Isaac and the Burgomaster for their reactions
Sure.
to those answers.
So, the first one, they kind of look at each other and like just kind of. Just to make sense.
Yeah.
But guess that's the gun.
For the second one, they just kind of like look at each other and just kind of. And there's a bit of an approval nod, like they understand it, and now it kind of clicks a little bit for them as to why they were able to get into the village so easily.
Okay.
Third question.
So, and Fiona, where did you send Mephisto?
To you.
Alright.
This tracks.
Fuck. That's not good though.
Can we call up someone?
Can I have a lifeline?
And where did you put your mantle?
Placed it in the grounds at our last meeting.
Yeah.
Excellent. I want it.
What did she, in the prayer grounds at their last meeting? Did she say? Okay.
That you know would have been within the last week and a half. That you saw her wearing it the last time you were in Vallaki.
You get one more question. You're just gonna have to do this one on the fly because we can't input
I
it.
know. Hold on, sorry. I'm just
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
you've got as long as you
I'm
need.
putting something together on this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
do it up.
That means that Strahd complimented me on my archery skills, and now I feel weird about it.
Why?
Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Creepy.
Clearly, he must know that
Who
you're
is your
good at what
daddy
you do.
and what does
Yeah,
he
but
do?
like,
And he's very
Don't
handsome.
forget, he's been walking around. He told you that he was impressed by all of you,
Good.
Yeah.
gauging your skills.
As well,
Yep.
he should have been.
I mean, yeah, but he's just playing us. We're just like little kittens who learn how to play with a bit of string.
Last question.
I don't know if she'll know this, but
Go for it.
Fiona, one last thing. How will your daughter Stella spell my downfall?
The devil cannot die. And the head lulls back at this point.
That was cryptic. Do you think she was doing the crypticness on purpose?
And the head lulls back, and at this point now, it kind of like snapping back a little bit over. You just hear the, and then the rest of the vines that are holding her head on let go as the head just.
Insight
Oh.
I insight check the head.
check. It's not real.
So
it's
did
an
it actually
illusion.
fall?
Yeah, and there's the sword at this point clatters to the ground.
So I turn to the rest of the group and say, okay, I've got about another 58 minutes on this. You guys want to go have some fun? No.
Sorry, what, she said the devil can never die.
The devil cannot die.
The devil cannot die.
So I'm alright. Free will.
So take his wings, his head, his torso, put him up all across.
Okay, at that, I look at the Burgomaster and Isaac again to gauge their reaction.
Okay. Looking at them, start
Yeah.
just complete shock at all of this that had been happening literally under their noses with none of them knowing anything.
This does not seem safe for
Oh
Isaac.
crap,
and
I
Elena.
just thought of a question
Not
that
Isaac,
would
the
have
other
been
one.
good to ask her, but I won't repeat it.
That's okay.
Alright.
No, we could.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go straight up and ask Isaac. Isaac, did you and Lady Walker... Oh my god.
I was trying my best.
Can we not have the giggles? Or catch the giggles? I'm sorry, it's also me.
Did
It's
you
so
and
tense,
Lady
you guys.
Walker?
Isaac, did you and Lady Walker,
Yeah.
did you have
Tell me more.
anything happen between you two besides this mess with that she caused with Victor and Stella?
Asking Isaac or the
Ask
bird?
Isaac.
Isaac? And he just kind of like looks and... No, there has been nothing. Why do you ask this?
Insight check.
Is he being truthful?
Yeah, go for it. Pull an insight check, both of me.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to insight check. That's my first time remembering to do it.
Well,
16.
oh, that's still more than mine. Mine was 50.
So sorry, what was the question again? Like, what is it you're trying to discern?
I'm trying to figure out because
Like, if he had any interactions with Lady Walker?
Outside of like the main feud that the Burgomaster's family had with her.
Yeah.
was there anything
Yeah.
specifically between them? Because outside of this conversation, she asked us to kill him. So
Yeah.
what was going on? Like, is there something he's aware of between her? Like, with
Why
her?
did she have a bone to pick with
Well,
him?
just as a reminder, because it's been a while, she asked you to kill him because it would destabilize the Burgomaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like, kill this man, I hate him. It's, we need to remove the Burgomaster from power, and the step one of doing that is killing his right-hand man.
Okay. Thank you for reiterating that.
Yeah, because it has been a while. I think it's been like 6 months at this
Yeah,
point.
For the
that was-
record,
that was-
for the record, I haven't, and I probably won't be mentioning that she asked us to kill the Burgomaster or to
Probably
like
not.
destabilize the back Burgomaster, and we were kind of like, maybe.
Hey,
It's all good.
Yeah.
You were the only ones who knew.
That's what I'm saying.
For the record,
And we did not mention it
at
before.
no point was I cool with that.
Yeah,
No.
For the record,
Well,
incredibly
and we did not do
cool
it.
with it.
we did not.
We
do
know.
Still am.
Still am. Like, still.
It. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, moving on. So, Burgomaster at this point just kind of... and like wiping, you can see like a little bit of spittle away from the sides of his mouth. The vomit from seeing her body now just lifeless and still bleeding onto his ground.
I'll hand him some water as straw.
And he just kind of like looks at you and just...
I kind of like go up to Leaf
Could
and
you
I just
please-
put my hand on his.
Could you please
It's
get
still
rid
on.
of this visage?
Can you?
Yeah, and I wipe this way.
Can you not do like the thing from
Starlight.
like? I was gonna say from the craft where she changes her hair color. Like,
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're.
Big fucking blue guy.
Yeah, you're just
It would,
like.
it would actually look like this, because like technically he's wiping and it's just revealing a chest.
And what a chest! What a blue
Appreciate
chest!
you returning to your usual form.
Hey, no problem.
This has been very enlightening. I will admit it is not far outside the realm of what we had thought, given the letter that was delivered here yesterday.
What did the letter say?
Well, last night it was dropped off and Charles found it and brought it to my attention. The letter reading...
Jordy, would you mind turning the piano down just a titch?
Yes.
Thank you.
A titch?
A titch.
I like
A
it.
wee bit.
Yeah. Yeah, just a
A
titch.
smidgen. Just a smidge.
Smidgen is a cute name for
The,
a...
the
small
letter
animal.
read... Vargas, your foolishness knows no bounds. You are worthless and weak. You know it, the town knows it, and most importantly, I know it. I'm coming for you, and the streets will run red with the blood of your men. I have allowed your buffoonery for too long, and it will come to an end. Send your men if you dare. I have grown more powerful with the aid of Strahd than you could possibly imagine.
Oh.
And you and your family will suffer for it. Expect me, Lady Fiona Walker.
Oh, she's
Oh.
fully signed it.
Fuck.
Holy shit. So she made her intentions quite clear.
The reason that we did not storm her household is this letter seemed far too
direct. The fact that we have been in power now for several decades, families have grown up around here. Her family has grown and somewhat prospered untouched. It felt very odd. Hence the guards that were placed outside of her mansion, the guards' increased presence in the village, and of course the increased postings around the mansion here. But it was still a letter that came, and we had to take precautions accordingly.
Was
Perhaps
there
the
anyone-
incident with Heinrich was enough to spark something.
Or perhaps she knew she was close to completing this ritual.
Possibly.
But also, was there? May we see the letter? Is there any way to verify it was her writing, or was it her
I can't
seal
imagine
on the
there's
letter?
a CSI sort of thing.
I don't think there's any reason to disbelieve that it was hers, given that we came across her in the middle of a ritual summoning a very powerful demon under her control.
Mm.
There isn't anyone in town who you think would. Anyone else who would behave like this, other than.
There is nobody in town who would feel as if we were doing any disservice. Everybody in the town appreciates the way that we maintain our homes and keep them all safe. It is just the way of things. It's not going to be a disgruntled woman upset at the fact that she is no longer in power.
I agree.
Yeah, that tracks.
So,
Can I? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say,
Could I?
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, did we look over the letter? Like, do they?
No, this was just him
Quoting it.
recounting.
Would it be possible if I could just take a look over the actual letter itself?
At this point, of course, I will have Charles running it around.
Appreciate
Charles! And he yells out the door and, yes, yes, I need you to bring the letter that was delivered last evening. Of course. And he just departs for a minute and is gone.
Jody
for
Rose, everyone.
about 2 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then comes back and he's got a folded letter and it's sealed with a red wax seal, and then delivers it and reopens it again and presents the letter to you, Leaf.
Sweet. So just looking. I have the Living with the Devil book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I compare the penmanship between the
Thank
two?
you.
Sure.
Don't I have the Living with the Devil book?
You have the Grimoire.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Living with the Devil.
I knew we could compare.
Living with the devil.
The Devil We Know.
Devil we know. Devil we know.
Okay, so Devil We Know, comparing the handwriting from that
Yeah.
to the handwriting of the letter,
Yeah.
they do appear to be different.
Okay, cool.
Mm.
Just checking.
So someone else was trying to start a fight here.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
it
she
would
didn't
appear.
write. We didn't know that she wrote the.
Yeah, we don't know that she wrote that book.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true too. But either way, if this isn't her, which is a possibility, this isn't a safe place for Irina and Ismark.
I don't know if this is a safe place for many people at the moment,
Well-
especially with her confessing to her
As
imp
much
going
as
to
I
tell
appreciate
Strahd.
this, inciting any kind of a fear-based gathering, spreading this information to the villagers will cause them to mistrust the safety that they place in this village, not only disrupting our entire lives, potentially causing villagers to flee the village, to deaths in the woods, deaths at the hand of Strahd, heading back to Barovia, which we know for a fact that Irina and Ismark fled from with barely a living soul in that town. If anybody were to make their way back over there and even be able to survive the journey along the road, what kind of a life would that be?
I
And
agree.
To be honest, in our travels, there hasn't been a single place that I would deem safe. This is as safe a place as any that we've
Most
come
people
across.
would.
I would
And-
go with Christ personally.
And yet you and yours now know that Strahd can gain entrance to your town. And I'd keep that well under advisement as you make your decisions.
We are not so foolish to believe that Strahd could not gain entrance to this town. it is a promise that is given to the people to make them feel safe, to allow them to continue living their lives under the belief that they can wake up every day and go to sleep in their own bed at night without having the devil come and confront them in the street. This is the reason why we have all of these festivals and why we encourage everybody in the village to be open and discuss everything that is within the village and nothing outside of it. It is the reason that we have banned the Vistani from coming inside, is that people within walls will go about their lives in peace. As soon as you introduce any kind of outside forces on these things that we have no control over, the panic will spread, the worry about what the world will do to them if it should ever break the walls. Make the masses feel that the walls are impenetrable, and you'll have peace within them.
It's actually like some pretty good leadership, y'all.
I
But then
don't
there's
know.
zero
I don't like that
preparation.
I don't like that he's lying to the people.
But I mean, if people are in their beds at night, Strahd can't get into their houses. That's the thing, right? It has to be invited inside.
Either way.
Without putting just a roof over this with a single door.
Yeah.
No.
I still think we need to take Irene as mark.
That's yeah. Anyway,
I want them to
Do they
log
like us
down.
anymore?
I think they like
I can't
us.
disagree with what you've said. It's better that people not panic and make foolish decisions. It's definitely not safe outside your walls.
But apparently it's also not safe inside.
But now that Strahd's lost his method of machination within your town
That we know of.
that we know of, he may escalate.
If Strahd was inside the walls masquerading himself as this Yosef character, he would have been inside Lady Walker's home. He would have known that what she was doing in the basement, right? So
He was absolutely in her home. We saw him in
Is-
her home.
is there any chance that perhaps he was the one providing her with this information, allowing her to complete these rituals, essentially
I
trying
think
to
it's likely.
Yes.
destabilize?
But it's been going on for
the world
years.
process?
It took her a while to hone her skills. He wouldn't be able to come up to some random member of your town and say, summon a demon for me.
Though, actually,
yeah.
because I think you and I are of the same mind, we looked at the books that she had, her rituals. They were fake.
What books? You did not mention any books before.
There were books in the house that we took a look through. We mentioned deeds and papers. They were amongst them.
And they were fake.
They were fakes.
Well, then where would she have gained the knowledge to gain these summonings? Where, I mean, obviously...
Strahd, I would assume.
Perhaps he told her firsthand the knowledge he wouldn't give to her, written down.
Meaning
is
you
there-
could give that information to others.
I was also curious as to if you are with these kind of magical forces, is there anyone that you are aware of who can provide magical protection?
Nobody in our village is a practitioner of magic. The dark arts are something that are forbidden within these walls.
Inside check!
Go for it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
same
Yeah.
thing as
Yeah, whatever, Victor.
Yeah, right?
and we're speaking to Virgo.
Yep.
Vargas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vargas is there.
Oh!
Vargas is who you're talking to.
Did
and
you nat
Isaac is
20?
outside.
Nope. The opposite.
Opposite.
Oh, okay. 21, unnatural.
21? Okay. The Baron has no recollection of anything that you can see. Isaac takes a little bit of note of this and just kind of like, you can see he purses his lips just a little bit.
So the Baron doesn't seems like he's telling the truth. Isaac.
Isaac
Nope.
seems to think otherwise. Or seems to know otherwise.
So, sorry. Just to clarify, Baron doesn't know that his son.
He doesn't know that he thinks he's telling us the truth about no one being able to use magic, but Isaac is kind of like, ooh.
Hold up,
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't think it's wise to have people being able to practice magic in order to protect the town?
Who would even know what these skills are? None of us are practiced in the arcane. All of these skills have led to nothing but trouble. I mean, Lydia Walker is a perfect example of this. She is given the means to complete amazing deeds, and she chooses to instead attempt to destroy our village.
We are also able to. We have learned these skills and we use them differently. We
Yes,
use them
but
for the betterment.
You are exceptions to this. You are not natives to these lands. You do not grow up here. A place where, when a child is born, you do not know if the child has a soul. These are
Isaac.
not things that you have to think about.
Isaac, as the captain of the guard, as the person who knows everything around here, certainly there must be appropriate defenses in such a case.
There are no defenses to speak of. It is simply our hope that the weaponry that is equipped to the guard is enough for them to maintain the peace.
Insight check.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I was gonna say.
He's full of malarkey.
Oh, nat 20.
That's what.
Yeah.
And do you need my...
Whispers!
That's not enough.
Oh, the
Yeah,
whispers.
I
Well,
also
just like
realized when I
pacing
was
back and
over
forth.
there and got water. Hello, yes, we are still recording, but there is still the cheese and bread.
Oh man!
Yeah, I tried kind of moving it around my face, but you guys were so intent that nobody noticed.
And when we can't be distracted by cheese and bread, that's really saying something.
no,
Yeah.
something's happened.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also, like, yeah, is it like Nelly the full moon? Is that why we're all so
Oh yeah,
hyped?
Friday the 13th is the full moon. Sorry.
Oh, that I should go
That's
see it
awesome. So,
Isaac,
No, there is nothing that should concern. No.
Isaac, I believe my party and I have shown ourselves to be perhaps the most capable people this city has encountered in dealing with the machinations of the devil. If there were anything in the town that might aid us in any way in dealing with the issues of the lands, it seems it might be in your best interests to let us know.
and he kind of looks over at the burgomaster for a second, and then looks back at you and just.
This is not a conversation to have in this room with these people present.
Then let's go
I
somewhere
would
we can.
suggest you speak to Stella on this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And you can see that the burgomaster kind of like looks at him and gives him a bit of a like, "What are you hiding?" look, and he just kind of nods his head and bows a little bit towards the burgomaster, and then walks out of the room.
Alright.
So, I'm gonna go talk to Stella. Anyone want to come with?
Well, we need to. So is Vargas left with Isaac, or is
No,
just
Isaac left by himself, and Vargas is just kind of standing there like, not understanding what's going on.
Vargas, is it possible to speak with Stella and Victor now, or would it be
Given the
appropriate?
situation, of course, that is perfectly fine. Would you? I'm sorry, I'm a bit flustered. Would you like me to get them, or would you like to come up to the room that they're staying in?
We should perhaps go to them.
I think we
as
should.
One
Yeah.
of their mothers is dead on the floor.
Not at all. I believe at the moment they are inside Victor's room.
I bet they are.
We're gonna knock quite a few times.
Is there a sock on the door?
Loudly
Down.
step up the stairs.
It's okay, I've disadvantage on stealth.
My lord, thank you very much for your time and what you've afforded us. I know that we're very new to this town, country, and we don't really look like the people that you're used to, but I hope you'll consider staying candid with us and working with us as we try to prevent.
I think yes, I hope that we've made it visible that we are working towards making this a better place, and we.
Aside from the first encounter that you had with Henrik when he first came to the village, and the incident that was reported to the guards as random act of destruction from a group who had just been allowed entry into our city, you have done nothing but prove yourselves to be worth trusting. At this point, I think, short of anything being directly linked to all of you, your reputations are beyond repute.
Does it kind of pain him to say that to us?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
can I?
Thank you,
can I check him?
Vargas.
Like,
Oh no, it
Yeah.
physically pains him to say that anyone's reputation is beyond repute in his town.
Especially people who look like us, because he's kind of racist.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Well.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Not racist, more so just.
Or xenophobic or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
A little racist.
I mean, I guess it's the same thing in this world.
He's a nationalist.
Oh.
You're not wrong.
A brown nationalist.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
Alright, I want to go talk to
I do
Stella.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So Vic.
I believe it's best you leave us alone with them to try and get the truth of what's happening.
I understand that apparently there, in a single day,
Apparently in a single day I have gone from knowing everything that happens inside the walls of my city to only knowing the things that I allowed myself to know. I will take some time thinking on this. Whatever time you need to speak to my son, to speak to Stella, please take it. Let me know of any outcomes. I do not wish to find myself an ignorant fool again.
Mm-hmm.
No one's disagreeing with him at all.
Yeah.
I did not think so. I take
That
it.
was like a
I know,
Haley. That was
I know,
like,
but
yeah.
it was the fact that no one was saying anything, just kind of the.
Yeah. Just scuffing our feet like.
Yeah, exactly.
mhm.
Oh,
Not
shit.
wrong.
And he just, I will take my leave of you. Perhaps go spend some time amongst the people of my village. Good day. And he walks out the front door of the mansion, essentially leaving the place with the servants and everybody inside to you.
Cool.
Let's raid Dad's liquor cabinet.
Let's actually.
Okay,
Set up a
so let's go
Of a
to.
door that Charles that's gonna.
So heading
Yes.
upstairs, series of rooms.
Are we in the different wing then? Where is Victor in the wing that we've
Yeah.
not visited?
Victor.
Victor's room?
Maybe we can.
Double check.
BM's gone. Maybe we can try and find Isaac and like get the fucking truth out of him about those creepy dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I still don't trust, man.
Uh huh.
I extra don't trust that guy now.
Y'all cool if I talk to Victor real quick?
You do you, yeah, man.
Oh yeah, we're all into it.
Oh.
So Victor's room is in one of the wings that you did not go into.
Yeah, we didn't get all that far.
Yeah, you just went into the first one. His room is one of the second ones. Charles leading you upstairs, and eventually.
So Charles is escorting us. We're not being.
No, he's showing you where to go because you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Right, like
We
you're
don't
still-
mind opening doors.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So escorting out to.
Oh,
to
we know the
room
way. Just kidding.
that he knows Stella and Victor are in. Knocking once on the door, and you hear a little bit of giggling on the other side of the door. And then just
Wonder
the
what they
giggling
could be
abruptly
doing in
stops and just kind of,
I want to be 16 again.
10 seconds, 15 seconds later, door opens inwards, and you can see Stella's just kind of, sitting on the bed, still fully clothed as is Victor, no difference, no tousled hair or anything. They're 16, right? Like.
I
just
learned
a
how
lot
to
of-
do that real fast.
They're 16. They haven't seen each other in 3 years. They were 13 or 12 when the last.
Yeah,
time I
and
saw
he's a
them.
magic
I was gonna say,
user that
16
probably
if I
knows
was-
prestidigitation, so
Yeah.
this ain't my first rodeo.
Hand's still going on underneath his robe.
Got that mage hand.
Oh,
That is.
that moss
I
ball.
was about to say that thaumaturgy from across the room.
Yeah.
Oh
Whoa!
my god.
Leaf, if you would.
So
Hey, Victor, mind if we have a quick conversation?
I would be delighted.
Appreciate it.
please come in.
Can I?
I just turned to Charles. We're good. Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck.
I'm just gonna kind of.
And he just slowly turns, and then just like droops his head a little bit, and then just as if he's like adjusting himself, and then ends up walking away back down to the stairs.
I want to arm wrestle
Great.
at some point.
Snap him in half.
So
Hey, Vic, you mind if we just have a quick conversation, you and me? I promise it's.
of course.
Okay.
And then all of us pile into the room and close the door.
Okay.
No, I'm happy to leave.
Oh no, do we? Is it just you?
The
Oh, sorry.
room is on
I
the
can-
small side.
I was
like,
gonna say,
it can
I was
be
gonna say, I can have a
before-
conversation with him out in the hallway.
No, we don't want anyone
So
to
you
hear.
want to have a conversation
It could maybe
separate
fit
to
4
everyone
people
else?
inside.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, suits me.
I am not going to leave my beloved at this point. If you would like to have a conversation inside, please step in. She will be in
Can
the
I
room.
keep an
Yeah.
eye on Liam, be
There
his
are no
protection.
secrets in my life.
Okay, fair enough.
She told me what you did for her. I'm happy to have a conversation with you.
Fair enough. I was just trying to give you a bit of a heads up, buddy. I thought you might be the one to want to say this. I got some good news. I know you weren't crazy about your in-laws.
Can she hear us right
She's
now?
in the room.
Yeah.
She's in the room.
We're not.
not.
He stepped into the room
Right,
with
right, right.
them.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I imagine we're kind of pushed up against the door trying to listen in.
I'm not.
I was gonna say if I was trying to have a conversation with them. You know what? Fuck it.
We can all stay outside. It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, you do
We'll
you.
keep an eye out.
He doesn't want to leave her because you were trying to
Yeah.
help
Yeah,
the
no.
side, right?
There's Stella, I hate to be. Your ma, she tried to
Is she dead?
yeah, at her own hand. That wasn't really the best look.
You said that she tried to do the same thing in the house as well.
Yeah, she seemed pretty intent on that, and looks like this time she got her way. So
Have to die then to reveal the truth, I suppose.
yeah, well, as it turns out, that's yeah, that's a good point. Either way, I think we figured out what we wanted to. So we appreciate the two of you.
With everything that has come to light today, knowing everything that I know now, how long I was kept prisoner inside my own home, inside my own room, inside my own mind, because of that woman. It is not something I will get over quickly, but it is not the shock that it was finding out that my father had passed as well.
We'll figure something out for him.
Do you feel so guilty right now?
But
Our apologies with that.
it is fine. My family was always destined to be both houses. Now it will simply be one of them. Please, whatever conversation you wanted to have, go right ahead.
Oh, that was it. I just wanted to give old Victor. I thought maybe Victor might be the one who wanted to break that, but I've never been told I'm great with subtlety or conversation, but looks like I'm getting a little better at these things, you know?
I'm better than you have been given credit for.
Through the hallway, I'm just gonna shout, "Proud of you!"
And I'll click the door open and say, alright, I think we're, there's a few other
At this
questions.
point, Victor just kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder and just,
You've returned, man. You've returned my love to me. I never want to be without her again. But with the information that has come to light today, that is not the future that I can see for myself. This fight that you bring, do you go to the devil?
You do.
Then I shall go with you.
Oh, great.
When that time comes, to give ourselves a chance at the real life, outside of these confined walls that we find ourselves trapped inside, that we know do not even keep evil at bay. I would rather give at least one of us a chance at a real life, even if I would not to make it back. I've gone the last few years without her, believing my life to be over, desperately trying to find a way to bring her back to me. Unable to do so, I have found myself a practitioner of the fine arts, such as yourselves.
Oh, culinary.
There will be things that I can bring to this battle, whatever it may be, whenever it may come. Just know that should you require me, I will be there. I will answer the call.
Appreciate that. Be in touch. And,
Indeed. Blessings upon all of you.
he closes the door as you head out and you can hear them just kind of hug again, and you can hear Stella start to cry a little bit, but then just kind of like the slight chuckle that every once in a while when somebody's crying, and there's a little bit of happiness there. You can hear them on the outside of the room.
Didn't really mean to do that one on my own.
You did good, buddy.
We trust in you, Leaf.
Oh, appreciate it.
So, you guys want to go drop a package off at the church?
Yeah, I think we got a little.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Not to be that guy, but
yeah, that might.
remember Weekend at Bernie's 2?
How are we going to explain that to the father?
He'll be fine. He's cool.
Some
He's
of us
chill.
can distract him. Some of us
Yeah.
can go do a whole.
I think.
Oh no, there's a body!
I think. Maybe.
Where does Tombstone come from?
I think perhaps.
What if we put it in Stella's grave?
That suits me, but
But then Stella needs to know where he.
yeah,
he's
we'll
resting.
tell her after.
I think there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of dishonesty in the town. It doesn't hurt to.
I agree.
It
Continue the
doesn't-
dishonesty. I agree. Yeah.
So, I don't think that's what Leaf meant.
I'm just gonna count.
But are we saying this still within the mansion? Are we on our way out? Like, are we?
Yeah, I was gonna.
I mean, I
Go
kind of want to get a
upstairs at this
reward if we can. Be like, hey, Burgomaster, we saved your fucking town.
I think
Cough it
that's
up.
a conversation once everybody's.
Yeah, I think we
Calm
need
down.
to.
Fine, okay.
I think we need to head out and.
You don't want to strike when he's
What time of
irrational.
day is it right now?
It's like.
Given the conversation, how long you spent there, it's probably closing in on dusk pretty
Like-
soon. You maybe got an hour of sunlight left.
Drinking time?
Well,
Yeah.
I think we
let's
should.
get
5
to the
o'clock
church
somewhere.
first, and then let's head back to the inn. I think.
Drop the kids off.
And then
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow we'll.
Drop-
And then maybe
drop-
tomorrow we'll go to the prayer ground.
Drop old man
Go to the
Walker off.
fairgrounds, go to the
Windmill.
windmill.
Yeah.
Also,
we need to make
take
that a
Irene and
priority.
Ismark the fuck out of here.
I think we should get.
Do
If we're
we-
going to the
do
windmill, I
we
think we can
want
get them
them
on the way
as-
back.
Dead weight when we're out in the world.
So okay, I think
Casimir
that
wasn't dead weight.
what we need to do
He
is
was pretty
talk to
squishy.
Isaac.
Well, yeah, but we just didn't bring him into fights
We
with
need
us.
to what?
We need to
sorry?
talk to Isaac now that the Burgomaster's out of the
Oh,
mansion.
yeah.
Let's go find Isaac.
Talk to him about his
So maybe
fucking
we.
doll room.
I don't know if we want to like leave it there or if we want to do that RP.
Let's
I
talk
was
to
going
him.
to say it's kind
Yeah.
of a pretty
Yeah.
good way.
It's a
place
good way
leave
to.
off.
Yeah.
For once, on a bit of a happy note.
Yeah.
Well.
For once.
This will also be, because of everything happening at this point, it'll be turning in for the evening. This will be when we level up as well. This will be level 8
Ah!
for the party. So we'll go ahead and roll hit dice
Feeling
before we close out the
good.
stream.
Oh my
Allow
god.
everybody to heal up there, and then
Woo.
essentially the rest of the day will be RP, and then the following day it's up to you to decide how you want to take things.
Nice, I'll
We'll
take
talk
that.
about that over the week. So we'll go ahead and roll hit dice. So Allura,
Mine is what, a D8?
it's a D8 if you want to continue in rogue, or you can multiclass.
Oh,
I am so stoked on what I got.
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, who's gonna multi-class?
I think I'm probably
Yo,
just gonna
you're gonna
continue
multi-class
rogue.
into a
Okay, go for it.
druid?
Oh no.
You
It would be
what,
cool, but like.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
you
a
roll multiclass,
1.
You reroll
That's
once.
the second time in a row on a level up that I have
Yep. Reroll once. Always.
5.
5. Alright. Les. D10 for you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah, me.
Sorry, it's been kind of a boring episode for you.
I've been not doing shit.
So much talking.
You had a bath
I've
though.
been blah, blah, blah.
You had a bath and you had some raw fish.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and add your con mod to it as well.
Oh shit.
Because it's you roll the hit die and you add your constitution modifier.
Which is, I think,
Buckaroos.
plus 1.
Is that a plus
I don't think
anything?
I've done that.
Yeah, so
for-
we roll
4.
4 and you add your constitution modifier.
It's like a 1 or
Oh,
2.
6.
6. Alright, so you get 6 more hit points.
I rolled.
You roll an 8. Alright.
I rolled a 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into multi-classing before I do this for
Okay.
certain.
You get a D10?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got D10.
I'm D10
Yeah.
too.
Rangers are D10s.
So I got 7 plus 1.
Plus your con mods,
Yeah.
so 8 hit points. Nice. So yeah, we'll talk about this. I'll be available as well if anybody wants to talk about level ups, talk about
Thank you.
multi-classes.
I need to study my
As usual.
books.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, I got
My
it.
book?
Yeah, the only thing that's of major note is for multiclassing. If there's a class you want to multiclass into, typically there's a requirement of 13 in a specific stat in order to be eligible for that. So, like,
Can't be a bard.
yeah,
Leaf would be the best bard.
Tell those stories.
bard cleric, yeah.
So, bird lick.
Definitely an interesting session to say the least.
Yeah.
Lots of talking. But successful navigations of the conversations, steering things where you want it to go. The one
mysteries.
I don't want to say mishap, but the one unexpected thing
That was fun.
that Lady Wachter was able to do.
That was cool.
That was dope.
The official ending of one of the first major big bads of the campaign.
Woo!
So, well done, everybody.
We yeeted her.
This is going to be where we sign off for this week.
Good job, Jordy. Oh my
Good
god.
job, you guys. You were the ones who navigated all of it. You survived the encounter. You brought her back. You asked the right questions.
Elise didn't put her foot in her fucking mouth for the first time.
I did.
No one did.
You did.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Hope did. Hardcore. By the way, your dead dad.
How did you feel when your dad died?
My dad's dead?
It wasn't meant to be like
What
that. I didn't mean it like that.
So great.
Oh shit.
So that's
Okay.
gonna be where we sign off.
Thanks
and
for
we'll
sticking
see
with
you
us,
guys.
y'all.
Yeah, that was an awesome one. We will see you guys next week. Just quick shout outs here. NerFFS, so Nerfs, has followed us today, as well as Yank 916.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.